welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 10th episode of the Redsun.tf unofficial podcast. I am joined for this very special episode by, per usual, my co-host Sui.
Hello, I'm
And
Suisoldier. Jolly.
that's Jolly. That's me.
I
You're
hope you don't
joined-
mind. I brought some friends along.
You brought some friends. Really?
Yeah, why don't you guys introduce yourself in
Why
alphabetical
don't
order?
they?
Alphabetical? Hi, I'm back. I don't know how they got me for a third time.
Forged Identity is doing it once more, as well as alphabetical order.
Oh, it's me.
I'm on
Hi.
June.
Or July. Don't call them July. That's homophobic. We're also joined by
Hi, I don't know when Forge changed his name to Back and June forgot what the alphabet was, but, happy to be here. Very good start.
this is Cert, of course, our favorite individual. And lastly, we are joined by
Oddly enough, it's me, your old buddy.
it is ye old buddy. It's a pleasure to have you all on today for this very special, very long-awaited episode, so to speak.
And it's just a tier list.
It is just
Yeah.
another tier list.
Sorry.
Normal
Crazy
tier
is that,
list.
huh?
Thanks,
It's
guys.
the tier list.
But
We
it
made
is
it 10
the tier
episodes
list.
of our tier list season, guys. Woo!
Unless
How low
there's-
have we
Ooh.
stooped?
You first. Or not. I'll
Awesome.
keep speaking then. But yes, for a while we've joked about the possibility of a Gamemode tier list. For the most part, it's basically the only other tier list we're going to tolerate ever doing again. But as Sui has been saying, it is kind of the podcast episode. This is something we've both been very interested in doing eventually, and per Sui's request, the best time to do it would be now, episode 10. And isn't it great that we made it this far?
Sure.
I feel quite accomplished, me and Sui. I think we did some good work, and I'm happy to have reached the double digits. Praying we reach triple before Toru cancels us forever, but we'll see how things go, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly, it is quite incredible seeing this podcast get this far, to be honest. And you guys did put in a lot of work, so that is good.
It's 90% Sui, don't give me any credit.
I was about to say, with the way you guys were phrasing it, you were like surprised you got here. You had so much faith you'd make it to double digits.
I mean, no, you mean more. Go ahead.
It's kind of valid to imagine that one of these days Toru is going to burst down the door like a designated FBI agent and blow us all up, but I don't feel like that day's going to be the day just yet. I think he wants us to continue the experiment or something along those lines.
Experiment, yeah.
We'll make
Yeah,
it to
that's the word.
50 minimum. That's my Jolly Red
No.
Sun promise.
What's one more image posted by him in the forums to every single podcast post,
Yeah, it does terrify the fuck out of me when he does that, though. I wake up in the morning and I see on my phone notification, Toru Adachi replied to your post, Red Sun podcast, and I have a little heart attack each time.
Fair enough.
No shame on Toru. He's a very busy person. I get, I get what's going on. But
You're being acknowledged by the head admin of the servers. Whether or not that's a good thing is for you to decide.
it is for us to decide. But
I think he would support this though, because again, it's part of community.
And again, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on. Just by the way. Screwdriver has said he'll
definitely
find a
knows.
way to make it happen. I don't know what his plan is, but I might see that out sometime.
It might involve blackmail.
Screw does work
yeah.
in mysterious ways, I'll be honest with you.
He surely does. A wonderful fellow.
What a wonderful fellow. He's so jolly.
But with those introductions out of the way, I suppose we will do a brief news coverage of, Redsun news this week. This week is a bit lighter on news than some of the last couple weeks have been. The only real thing that has happened on Redsun the last week is something that has affected all of TF2. This being the update of the game from 32-bit to 64-bit. Now, I don't know a whole lot about coding and computers and whatnot. I'm sure one of the other lovely and incredibly intelligent people in this call could explain it a little bit better. But as far as I understand the situation, while this has kind of pushed back a lot of our, workings with a lot of source mod plugins and whatnot, which again, Jamie's fact-check me in a second. Going forward, once we, get used to all this new 64 nonsense, it should make working on the game easier for us, and as far as I've heard, it's also provided a pretty significant FPS boost to the game. Is that all true?
Five
Yeah.
extra frames.
I think so.
It depends on the computer, but I've seen Fikul, Mikush, and others praise 64-bit, obviously because it is difficult for their coding, obviously, but the actual benefits appear to be like on the performance side of things. I'm seeing people on like the TF2 Reddit, for example, saying they're getting like 20% more.
Yeah, that
FPS.
was the big number I always heard was 20% to 30% faster, which I'm no expert, but 5% more than 60, that's
Yeah, from what
right
you've
to me.
seen, the average was like around 20% boost in FPS, pretty much.
Which is good, which is great.
It's meant
Kinda
to be
have to-
bigger than the boost from CSGO to CS2, which is crazy.
Was there any other major differences besides that? I think I'd heard that the edict limit was bigger, maybe?
No,
No.
that did not.
That
hasn't
was
changed.
misinformation? Okay, well, I'm gonna find who in the Discord said that,
It
and
should-
I'm gonna
it should
call
be
you out
coming
on the
soon.
podcast.
Yeah, it's not implemented yet.
I
But
think
yeah,
it was
it
Buddy.
should be coming.
I think it was Buddy, actually.
What? It wasn't me.
Jamie, fact check this in post, then put a little sign that says Jolly is stupid. That's what we really need up in the corner, is the Jolly says some stupid bullshit counter.
I'm
That's
just getting a red
blatantly
dot out of
false.
nowhere now.
But yeah, don't mean to call you out. It was great to have you here, and it's great to be doing this. Obviously the switch to 64-bit has impacted some of the game modes and plugins on the server. Most of them, I think, have survived the transition fine. I think the ones that immediately come to mind as broken were Midem and Prop Hunt.
And
Yeah.
also stop that tank, but that's stop that tank. So
Don't
that
fucking
game
say
is already
that. Stop that
spaghetti
tank.
code.
Don't you dare. Okay?
No, I mean not like quality. I mean like the coding side of that game mode. It's a
Randomizer
little
was
bit messed
affected
up.
too, but it's fixed already, I think.
What the fuck about randomizer even breaks? It's fucking randomizer. What?
Just give you random weapons.
That's the one that breaks. Really?
Yeah, but
fucking-
42 fixed it in like a day at most, and I think it's already back up
And-
because
I would like to extend my appreciation to Miku and 42 for working so hard already to get things back up and running. It's very kind of you. Obviously you're running the server and whatnot, so it's kind of expected, but it is very nice that you're doing this stuff for us still after, so many years doing all these this free shit for us. We really appreciate it. We do.
Yeah, it is genuinely actually really surprising just how quickly they were able to manage to get everything back up. Like even now, I'm pretty sure the only game modes that are down are like Bit'em and Prop Hunt. I think those are only two that are down right now.
Yeah. I think Prop Hunt Miku is still working on a rework for, if I'm remembering
Yeah.
correctly. If I remembered the way he talked about it a while back, is he's essentially just taking the ideas he came up with from the script Prop Hunt and making them into a source mod plugin. Was my understanding. Which is great. I loved Prop Hunt V-script. I thought it was fantastic.
Bikini Bottom V-Script Prop Hunt is genuinely incredible. I had so much fun on that map, even though I've only played it like twice.
Look, I did my
Speaking
hot
of,
take on that
modes-
map when me and Sui did the deleted mystery map tier list episode. But I'll repeat it here. I do not think that map helped the situation. It was declared to not be part of something that would be in the game. It did not fucking help the situation. That's all I'm gonna say.
We do not talk about the situation. That is officially black tape.
That's the most I'm gonna talk about that. Because I don't want to talk about that right now, but I'm just like, that really
I know
did
what
not
we can
fucking
talk
help.
about, though, Jolly.
Oh, what are we talking about?
Well, what are we doing today?
You're a natural. I should have you on more. We need somebody to really
Thanks,
hurt in my autism.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. There is one extra thing I think you
go
may
ahead,
have
buddy.
forgotten. That we do actually have a new developer.
Oh, yeah. So that's funny. I had announced it, because the post of Miku saying okay on the forum was like 30 minutes before recording last week. But now that he's accepted the terms and whatnot, we can officially say that Octosun is now a developer for the Redsun community. Woohoo!
Yippee.
Hooray!
For a
Good
recap,
job, actually.
Octosun
Mazel
is a...
tov.
Ooh, you first. Or not.
So, you were gonna say something?
Oh,
Somebody was saying something.
I think it was me or Sui. I was just gonna say about how Octa, I think, is gonna be very much appreciated given how good he is with art stuff. I mean, you've already seen what he's done for Zane with the Artifictional. For those who might not know, he designed like a new logo for that. You can totally check that out if you look through his messages or Zane's posts. And now they're hiring him for actual artistic developments on the server. So I think they did a very good job there in hiring him so quickly.
I couldn't pick a better person to be developer, honestly. He is such a kind guy. I mean, I talked about it in my forum post for his application, but like, he doesn't even really join in on the banter of like shitting on other people like we all do on Redsun. Dude just does not have any enemies. He's just here for honest work and good vibes, and I really super appreciate it. And honestly, after this episode, he's probably going to be the next interview we do. I am so very happy to have Octosun as part of the community and now part of our developer team. So,
Yeah,
wahoo.
from what I've seen, he is just really talented in like the graphic design field. I've seen him just making like a bunch of ideas for like profile themes, and yeah, if he actually like suggests those, like, you know, he's gonna carry the fucking profile theme scene.
Oh,
That's all I'm gonna
easily.
say.
I think eventually I'm gonna figure out how to do some profile themes because I have some fun ideas for that. But we'll get around to that at some point when I start on my inevitable bucket list of learning things for Redsun, like Hammer and whatnot. A Hammer mapping video would be a great podcast episode down the line. But
No.
let's go.
You do not want to learn that software.
I
Do
don't.
not.
It would be a hilarious episode. It's just start the timer at the start of the episode. The timer only stops when Jolly finishes a full map.
Look, when we get to a
Finish
certain
get
game
to
mode on
off.
here, I'll talk a little bit more about Hammer. But for now,
Ooh.
I think we can start on the actual game modes, which of course this is the Gamemode Tierlist. The Gamemode
Wow.
Tierlist,
Yay.
as we've alluded to earlier, is something that we had talked and joked about quite a couple times on the podcast. This was kind of the big episode. And there was no better time to get started than episode 10. So, I don't think I need to explain to audio listeners and video listeners what a podcast, or I hope I don't have to explain what a podcast is. I hope I don't have to explain what a tier list is, though. But self-explanatory. S through F with a little bonus down here of actual shit. We rank the many game modes on a server and get through it. This should be fun.
Yeah, we're mostly only doing this so that people can finally stop talking about it. Let's.
Yeah, although some of these are kind of old, but whatever.
I don't mind
We're gonna be
ranking
having
game
a
modes
lot of
that aren't in
I think it's-
rotation. I really
I
don't
think
mind.
it's
I'm not
fine.
in quotation marks, Sui.
Now, funnily enough, we actually do have a difference now than when this was probably created, because now we have like 4 different map crash maps, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I suppose if we are all gathered and ready, we can begin with this tier list, begin with the yappening.
The
begin.
yappening begins. Let's do
It's
this.
on.
The only thing
Yeah.
I would prompt before is that typically, when I do podcasts with people, or I said podcast, when I do a tier list with people, I tend to throw in a little fun rule of everybody gets one freebie. No question, I put this in one tier. Though part of me wonders, with the size of this list and the amount of people we have on, if that's a good idea.
It is.
Oh god.
Here's the thing: a podcast is always more fun when there's disagreements because that generates conversation. So if you
True.
do that, you're gonna have 5 other people disagreeing with someone's take, and that'll be very
Content.
funny.
That is true. If we all want to go ahead with that usual rule, we can go ahead.
Sounds
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it.
alright.
All right, cool. Just wanted to preface that before because it might be a little spicy again with so many people in. It does get more problematic the more people are in a session like this, but I think it'll be fine because we've got a good group here, a good group of very sane individuals. I think
good. Mostly same.
we will see how
Quotation mark.
we'll see how we're
Yeah,
holding up
yeah.
around
Trying
here.
to.
This
Still
list
playing
is kind of
TF2 in
unbalanced.
2024? Yeah,
Now that I'm
same.
looking at it, don't you think? Like, dude, how are we gonna hit VSH Fortress Royale and mid them in a row?
With great difficulty.
You know, just like that.
We'll scramble a little bit. I'm gonna push away mid 'em. I'm not ready
Coward.
to talk about mid. I'm a coward.
Yeah.
What is Skyle mode? I'm gonna just put the funny ones down here, maybe. What is event map? Oh god, oh fuck. Do we not have a regular event map?
I think that's the only event map we have.
That is event map. I think is that thumbnail Congo Toad or something?
I'm scared of it.
I have no
I'm
I'm
idea.
pretty
shut
sure
it off.
End of it.
That's not
I'm pretty sure it's
Chromo
just
Toad.
counting the event map category as like a whole.
Whoever
like,
made
all-
this
all
tier
event
list
maps.
split everything into different tiers, which kind of doesn't help, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit difficult to rank some of these modes, especially like event map when there's so many of them nowadays because Redsun's just naturally grown over time.
Do we want to get the game modes that are not in rotation anymore out of the way first, or do we just want to naturally insert them like they belong?
Hero Fortress gets banished to the Shadow Realm.
Because
Yeah,
we'll talk about them. I just mean, do we
Yeah.
want to
Yeah, we
talk
we
about
should
them
mention
first,
them, but...
or just
We should.
as part
I think
of the
maybe
list?
get them out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, we could, I guess.
If you think it's better, should we get them out of the way, or should we just do them naturally?
We could just start with those, the removed game modes.
I don't have any problems with that, but audio listeners, be prepared for a lot of overlapping voices. You have been warned. Hi, editor's note here. I'm not kidding when I say this, by the way. This isn't a joke. There's a lot of overlapping audio, because, obviously there's 6 people talking all at once, and, well, I did the best I could, but, yeah, sorry. You just have to bear with it.
You have been
Yeah.
warned, so we'll go ahead and move up some
Comes
of these.
natural with this many people.
I'm working on it. Okay, be patient.
I love the
What
alphabetization.
is style
Johnny.
mode, actually, if I can get that out of the way?
I have no idea.
Somebody must know. We have a
You can
lot
probably
of
throw them
very
blue tier
old
already,
people
'cause
in
we
here.
don't know.
Somebody has to know. Somebody.
All I could do is take a guess.
If nobody knows, then I guess
I'm
we'll
trying to
just-
figure it
we'll
out,
throw
but I
the
got no
next shit
idea.
for now. I have no clue. what
I'm
that
willing
means.
to bet it's literally just mimicking Skyle, so having like the tags on the screen everywhere and having ads randomly pop up or something stupid.
Maybe next time I have one of our admins on, like a Miku, maybe he might know. Maybe if I ever get Toru on, he might know. But we'll see. For now, we could begin properly with a couple of the removed game modes. First of which is Hero Fortress.
Actual shit.
Very strong out of the gate
you
series.
Okay,
Wow.
why? I want to
Yeah.
know.
Why? Because
Yeah.
Hero Goddamn Fortress. It's what
Okay.
MVM wanted. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. It was an interesting concept, but it should have stayed a concept.
So
Because don't fucking play Overwatch.
I
Cerulean
don't
is
think it
weeping
was
openly.
the worst concept. I think Carillion asked for it to be removed, didn't he?
He
I
did
don't think he
because
cares.
he did because Man vs. Man came out. That's
Exactly.
Yeah, and I won't defend it as anything special when we have Man vs. Man. I think Man vs. Man is kind of just a better way to do that in TF2. I do think there is some novelty to it. And
Yeah,
to
like-
be honest,
feel like
I don't
Hero
think I ever
Fortress
hated
is-
it, is the thing.
You go.
Yeah.
Buddy.
I just think like Hero Fortress was more like the watered down version of Man vs. Man because
Kinda.
the ability, like everything that you were able to get in the game, it wasn't really that much like advanced than Man vs. Man vs. Man really was.
I think there is some potential with the concept to do some really goofy shit that wouldn't. So to me, Man vs. Man just kind of seems it's a very direct translation of Man vs. Machine abilities in a regular TF2 match. I feel like if we came back to the kind of concept of Hero Fortress a few years later now, maybe with some more experienced developers, I think there is room for some funny shit you can do with it that goes beyond MVM upgrades. Like, I don't know, say you can use your money to build some, like, League of Legends tier items after 300 gold schmeckles or whatever. You can shoot some special laser beams with your attacks or whatever. Shit like that goes beyond Man vs. Machine. I think there's potential for it. But I think Man vs. Man is still a better way to do that.
Yeah.
I agree that Man vs. Man is better, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily make Hero Fortress actual shit.
That's kind of my argument.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever hated the game mode enough to be actual shit. I feel like actual shit, besides whatever style mode is, it should be reserved for something that actually, like, offends me for
I feel like,
existing.
it should be a C or D tier around that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Yeah.
it really is just like a weaker version. Like, you know, you do it's basically stock TF2, but you have like one extra ability and upgrades that won't really do much. But at the same time, it's still basically just stock TF2 pretty much. So I wouldn't say it's like bottom tier, but it's definitely nowhere near the top
And
tiers.
also, it's important to consider that it is a game mode that is not arena. Thank fucking god. That's gotta be some bonus points.
Yeah.
I would probably put it in D as well. Like, I think I played it a grand total of 3 times, and they were when Miku was doing events when the server pop was full, so I got like a very good sample of what it was like. It wasn't the most fun, but at the same time, like, I definitely didn't not enjoy myself. So like D, maybe the top of D is probably where I'd put it.
I think D is fair.
I almost feel bad for Hero Fortress. It was definitely hampered by being restricted to source menus.
Mhm.
The thing with Man v Man is it has the advantage of having most of the stuff like MVM upgrades already built into the game to begin with. Carillion did not have that luxury when he was making it, and you can tell in how clunky it feels to play. That's
Yeah.
the thing I'd say with it, is
And that's kind
It
of what I
feels like
meant.
it's one
I
game
feel
Man v
like we could make a really good version of this if we really worked on it. I'm not saying it's necessarily worthwhile. Again, I think Man vs. Man is just a very easy to understand similar concept that works a lot more professionally. But I feel
100%.
like if we came back to this idea, we could make something really cool. But as it stands, it's alright, but I don't think it's offensive. I think D is fair. How are y'all feeling about that?
I think I'm gonna agree with D.
I'd
yeah.
vote with D.
We all feel D?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry to
good
shut
shot.
you down, Sui. I know you really wanted an actual
so he
shit,
just
but
wants to veto it to actual shit.
you get what I'm saying, though, right, Sui?
I'm not using my freebie on Hero Fortress, but fine.
Oh my
You're not
god.
that spiteful.
Jolly, one question.
Yeah?
We won't really get into details regarding balance, right?
Well, we kind of have to get into balance a tiny bit on everything.
Yikes.
But
That's
don't
gonna
worry.
be a fun conversation.
Look,
The
look,
VSH discussion.
we're gonna.
Oh, no.
We're waiting for VSH when we get there. Okay. I don't want to fucking think about it until we get there. Okay. I don't want to fucking think about it until we get there. Let's hurry up.
Practice peace, boys. Practice peace. We must not think about you know who and Saxton Hale just yet.
Redsun cart. How do we feel about Redsun cart? To my knowledge, Redsun cart was the one that was just bumper cars, right?
Yeah.
never
Yes.
played it, so.
I'll
like,
make
What
a
is
hot
the
take.
major difference between Redsun Kart and 2 Turbo?
I'll make a hot take. I
Uh,
love the Redsun, not Redsun, but TF2's bumper cars. I think they're some of the
Yeah.
most fun vehicles in any video game.
The air control and the like weird swerving physics is so fun to
I
mess around
love
with.
that. I would play a racing game that has that, a real one. I'd pay $60. I really would. I think it's incredibly enticing. And
Again,
from-
I only played Redsun Kart, like, again, once or twice, kind of similar to Hero Fortress, but I have a massive bias towards racing games, so, like, at a minimum, it's probably C or B tier for me. That, and I agree with what you said, Jolly and Forged. TF2's bumper cars are silly as all hell, and they just make for really goofy, funny moments, so even though the game mode's quite novel, like, you can't go wrong with the bumper cars.
I like bumper cars. But, yeah, how's everybody else feeling now? What are we, some tiers? Throw out some tiers.
Big
Higher than Hero Fortress. That's all I say.
See,
See? I don't mind C, because to be fair, it is really just you're setting bumper cars on a track.
Yeah,
It's not
I'd say C2.
that impressive, but it is fun.
Yeah.
Alright. To avoid making this episode take 4 hours, I will move a little bit faster for at least until we get to the real game modes. But
lightning round.
2-4
real
Turbo,
game
how do we feel
mode.
about Turbo? How do we feel about this game mode? The 2-4 Turbo.
Man,
I
I think it was pretty fun.
Do you like
honestly,
it better than Redsun Kart? Better or worse than
Yes.
Redsun Kart? Let's start
I
there.
feel like it would be better than Redsun Kart, honestly. In my opinion, I never played Redsun Kart, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I feel like it would play better.
Yeah, you're basically just driving around Gmod cars.
Are we doing like sub tier things where the further left it is on the tier, the better it is? Or...
I think in this case, I do actually kind of care to do that.
We should order them eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
you know, it's still early days.
I think it's better, but I don't
Just-
know if it's a
I
whole
feel like
tier
it's
better.
still C tier, but it's better than Redsun Kart. I wouldn't
C
call it-
tier. Wow.
It's because of the map variety. That's my issue.
I guess.
Is that after a while, doing the same 3 laps with the same 6 cars just kind of feels.
And I think that's
mundane,
the
I guess.
reason
That's the only
Miku
problem
hasn't
I
made
have
it a
with
full game mode. Because he's told me before he's done with it. It's like finished. Although it probably is broken by 64-bit. We're not talking about that in
Yeah.
a second.
I think it was broken
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what
A
I've seen,
little
it's had
bit.
a lot of development problems.
There was some development issues, but I just remember the one night I talked to them real late on Redsun. You know, it was a mostly finished game mode. It's just kind of a case of he didn't feel like it was the right fit to be a whole game mode. And I kind of get that. You know? I feel like it would be great if there was free 2-4 Turbo maps and like a mystery map or something. But I don't
No,
know if I'd
it-
want a whole like 50 map game mode.
I get it. It was kind of ramshackle in a way, where it was like, this is very hacked together just to see if
If
in
it worked.
concept it worked, but it worked.
I don't like a
Sometimes.
something else
Yeah,
to talk about
honestly,
later.
like I think the most fun part about it is just how fucking clunky it was, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like the driving physics and everything, and like just body blocking people, like using your cars. That shit was so funny, honestly.
It's incredible, it really is. But do we feel it's better than Redsun Kart?
Yes.
I in my opinion, it's better than Redsun
Yeah.
Kart. I don't know if it leaves C tier. I don't know if it's. I would necessarily put it B tier, but I would put it above Redsun Kart at the very
At least above Redsun Kart, but I don't know if maybe low B tier.
It's-
We might adjust
I
it
feel
later.
like it might be. It depends what else we put in B and C tier later on. We'll like compare it, you know?
I think that's fair, because we'll adjust as we go through.
Yeah.
We'll do maybe a little checkup on the tiers by around some point in between Gun Game and Instant Game.
I gotta say one positive thing regarding like 2-4 Turbo and
Mhm.
like Redsun Kart. It's always kind of revoking the feeling of thrill. Like when you're about to be first place as well. Like everyone is so competitive slightly, but also casual most of the time there, and it's so fun. Like trying to get even like a further spot.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hope that makes sense.
I do get it, I get it. Racing it's a different kind of thrill than the usual FPS combat of TF2, and I do think it is very interesting that it is a game mode that exists not as a different interpretation of a shooter, but as an entirely different game mode. Or not game mode, but genre. I think
Not
that's very
everything has to
interesting.
be like major competitive.
But I like it for what it is. We may adjust it later.
To
But
be fair,
I think it's fine.
Was it Redsun Car or 2-Foot Turbo that produced one of the funniest clips I've ever seen from Redsun?
Oh, the
where
stuck
Fortune
one?
gets blocked. No,
Yeah,
Fortune gets
no, that
blocked
was
at the
2-Foot
end.
Turbo.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And it was that one
Oh, I
fucking
love
map
that
with the
clip.
gray mountains. It's always that one.
Yeah, I remember that clip. I mean, the racing game modes, I'm gonna be biased on no matter what because I love racing game modes, and if Toru is listening to this, he already knows. Because me
Because
and
you're
him both
European.
love one game. Yeah, true. But like, I definitely would be happy with 2-4 Turbo and B, maybe even A, in my opinion.
We'll wait and see what we put in A. I feel like that's kind of strong. But I could be talked into it because again, I think it is something that changes the genre of the game entirely. That's
I
kind
mean,
of.
it does.
But let's move on. I think we'll adjust that later if we feel like it. Fort Wars.
I
Yes!
don't even have to say it. I don't even like Fort Wars. I suck at Fort Wars, but the pure gameplay variety it provides is absurd. You can't put it lower than A tier.
Put it in S. Put it in S. Bring it back, please. Bring it back.
I do not care for Fort Wars.
What?
Explain your reasoning? Question
I
mark.
kill you. How
I
about
can't.
that?
I don't
Don't
even
go
have a good
there.
critical reason. I just feel like I've not been super impressed by it.
You're just feeling anti today. You just wanna
No,
go
I'm
against the
not.
crowd.
I
Is that it?
talked up Hero Fortress from a -F to a D. What do you mean feeling negative?
Yeah, and you can't talk Fort Wars out of an S.
Oh,
So
I'm not.
look at
No,
you.
no, no, no. Everybody else here is saying A and S. I'm not gonna lower it. But if you'd elaborate a little, win me over, so to speak.
I'd like you to elaborate why you don't like it.
No.
Because you can't. Okay.
Because
got
I
it.
think the few maps I've played it on have felt way too small for the concept.
Well, that's the point. You build forts.
I know. I feel like they're tiny.
If you want open space, go play fucking Fortnite.
Yeah, there's like
Whatever.
the battle royale stuff, you know.
What do you feel between S and A though in this group?
I'd
I
say
would say
A.
A.
Pick an A?
I think A is reasonable. I mean, I like the idea of free building to kind of
I
play in
think
the
free
mode.
building is a fun idea. I think maybe I just played on a shit map once and I'm letting that affect my experience.
The only thing that I would say speaks against S is kind of when like players try to troll or destroy your stuff out of nowhere, and like you've probably built like an entire base or something, and people get there and annoy you with placing like crates everywhere.
Yeah, that's human error though. That doesn't have anything to do with Fort Wars being bad. That's people being assholes.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Next up is Huntsman Hell.
Little sleeper, to be honest.
It's like
It sure is there.
it exists. I love it when we went to hell and everyone said it's huntsmaning time. But it's like, is there really anything notable about the
Yeah.
mode?
It's not bad, but it's not impressive.
Can somebody kind of alliterate what it is? Because I've never played that mode.
Yeah, me neither. I was gonna say, like,
I
isn't
think
this
it is
just, like,
literally just both teams have Huntsman and it's only headshots,
yeah,
right?
just like glass attack, but everyone has huntsman and there's no glass.
Um,
much.
Well, G was. I don't remember how long ago this was, but G was testing a revised version of the plugin where you had special rounds and different kind of bow weapons. So, like, Crusader's crossbow was included, I think,
Hmm,
amongst other things.
intriguing.
The concept.
Why would
is
you ever
being
take the
really-
Huntsman?
Honestly, the headshots. It's the dopamine of seeing the funny crit
Wait,
text pop up.
No,
for
I mean
someone.
if you have the crossbow, why would you ever take the Huntsman?
You gotta get that dopamine. That's like
Uh,
using the loose cannon over stock, you know?
it is kind of just shitty class warfare though.
It trick
I mean, I
shot
also
potential,
hate
by the way.
that.
Yeah, I really don't see the point of it existing when like glass attack.
It had a
casual
point.
exists.
And it had a history at one point, but I feel like we've moved on from it.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
not,
didn't
it's not
hate
bad,
it.
but it's not good.
I don't think I hate it. It's just
It
kind of
just exists.
But I
It-
feel
it
like
w- it
I
was
think
a
that's
mode.
a good
Yeah.
F because I don't. Again, I feel like Actual shouldn't be actively offending me. You know, and it's just another case of like, it's fine. It exists. You know,
Yeah, I'd say C or D then.
C or D. Interesting.
Like a D tier, yeah.
I would put it above Hero Forge. I rather play. I probably.
Yeah,
rather
You
play
haven't
it than
played
Hero
it!
Fortress. I probably would rather play it than Hero Fortress.
I mean, hearing about it, I would say behind Hero Fortress, because like Hero Fortress still has like so much abilities of what you could do.
I feel like I'd
in
get more
Huntsman Hell-
gameplay variety out of Hero Fortress if it was in rotation than Huntsman Hell.
Yeah, I guess. Below Hero Fortress then.
Again, we can adjust later. Stop that spy crap.
Yikes.
Like,
I mean, it's funny for all of maybe 5 minutes, and then you
Once.
realize you're just holding control and walking in a straight line, or holding M1 and looking down.
this is the kind of game mode you make from like not knowing how to set up plugins. So you just put a server up on a server browser and say, "Hey guys, please follow the rules," in like
Yeah,
the
like-
server name. Like I
This
did a
is the-
zombie game mode once like that. I played with those rules and I cheated every time, by the way.
Yeah, this is the game mode you make with like 5 of your like close
Lads,
friends, and then you
yeah.
play it for like 15 minutes before getting bored.
And then
You know
it's
what?
funny. What?
Stop that spy crab is a fucking Halo game mode. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I guess
Yes,
it-
yeah,
that-
yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
played Halo, but
I
that
can see it.
says it precisely. That's exactly what it is.
Like it's not bad if you play it in short bursts. Like I think Alex set it on Raiden like 2 weeks ago, and that was my like second or third time just playing a full session of the mode. And when I was done, I was like, it was fun. I probably wouldn't want to play it again for a while, but I definitely enjoyed it when I played it.
So what are we feeling? You're not
think-
putting it above Huntsman Hell, are you?
I might, I would probably say it could go in front of Huntsman Hell, but behind Hero Fortress.
Man, I don't see it, man. Like fun for like one.
I
free
don't
round.
see it, dude.
Part of me wants to put it above Huntsman Hell just because of the
yeah.
legacy.
I mean, I
That-
would still say behind
It's also
Huntsman
fair.
Hell.
I think above, to be honest. The few times that you do see it, it's
I'm
like,
hearing
haha,
more
that's
above than
great,
below.
and then it vanishes from your mind for months.
Alright, how many other people here have played Stop That Spy Crab on Slag rather than me?
I haven't been on Slag at all, honey.
Nope.
It was one of the few modes I actually played on Slag.
Exactly.
We're gonna run out of
Same
time.
here too. And now that I am 21 and not like 7, I can really see like, how did I enjoy this for more than like 20 minutes? But just because it's been there so long, I feel like it should deserve to go above Huntsman Hell.
I feel
It is a
getting
legacy game mode, but that doesn't mean it is good.
And
See,
I think that
I like-
summarizes everything that is not in rotation.
Yeah,
No, Jolly, you forgot one. Fortress Royale.
Thunder Fortress.
I have
Oh, and
way
I don't even know my
Ooh,
Sunday
I have
story.
so many
Have you ever
opinions
had
about
Sunday?
Fortress Royale.
I mean,
Fortress Royale
listening
is
to
being
Mikush's
reworked.
podcast, like Fortress Royale might have a comeback. So
Yeah,
I do not care for
but
Battle Royale.
it is not in rotation right now.
I'm gonna save it for later because I am not ready to talk about it yet. I have to wind that one up.
oh yeah, Joe, you're a fan of it.
I gotta wind that one up. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Be patient.
What
be
about
patient.
Thunder Fortress?
Oh, that was in the server.
Apparently, I don't
We're
know.
very
I feel
All
like
right,
I
so
know
anyway,
this.
let's talk
very
about
short
map craft.
burst.
Let's just-
I don't know. Was it ever an actual rotation, or was it just being tested? Because I know
No,
it was definitely
only
tested.
Only tested,
Okay.
but there's a reason why it is not in rotation.
Yeah, I figured.
So,
The
you know,
weight
just,
factor is so long, it does not fit.
It is
Redsun
the
at
most
all.
arena game mode.
Cast it aside and let's move on.
God, give us just put in actual shit.
Yes, please.
It just
Yeah,
wasn't
just
designed
leave it.
well. It doesn't sustain well at high pop, and a Redsun is designed to obviously function
Yeah.
at high pop as well, so it just doesn't work.
It
So
can be
yeah, actual
kind
shit.
of fun, but it doesn't work on the server.
To the
Agreed.
3 people that we've upset, cry about it.
The
All right,
thing is,
anyway.
I'm thinking kind of like
You know,
from
you know.
what Miku
You
sometimes said. Like, you know how people say Ocelot should have like jump, like rocket jump, parkour fortress and stuff?
Everybody who says that just wants
I
more
think
badges.
Zedek
Don't take
is
them
the
seriously.
only one saying that.
Don't take
I
them
think
seriously.
that's
They're
just
begging
Zedek's.
for badges.
Can I? We're talking about Parkour Fortress, right?
I kind of wanted to.
Is it on
finish
here?
My sentence there.
No, it's just, I heard someone say that, but go on, yeah.
The thing is, something that Mikush likes to say a lot is that those modes would never really make into Redsun because other servers would make them already better themselves.
Yeah,
Like, that's why they will never be in
Yeah.
Redsun.
That's not incorrect either.
that's the really good way of putting it. I think that does clear up all the game modes of that quantity quality. Besides Fortress Royale, we'll talk about him later.
I was gonna say quick skim. I think yeah.
Not
we're good.
ready for Fortress Royale, okay?
I do like how the thumbnail for Fortress Royale is to fucking crash a message.
I don't want to talk
That's-
about
that's
it
It's
yet.
very
accurate. It's
perfect.
accurate.
Yeah.
Reminiscent of finer times with Fortress Royale.
With that, we can begin on the actual currently in rotation game modes with Map Crash, which is just stop. Classic.
In my opinion,
No.
Map Crash automatically B.
I don't even feel like ranking it. I feel like that's such a weird thing.
It's just stock, but you know, just hangout maps pretty much. Like we have like what, like 4 startup map. No, we have it's Aura,
Aurora,
Buzzy's Dream
Aquatic
Box.
Ruin, Buzzy's Dream Box, and the one that mine Alberto just made.
Yeah, the green the
Yeah.
the green
Sonic.
light zone.
4, yeah.
It's a rotten
Yeah.
hedgehog.
We
You
have
know-
5. We have
What-
5.
If it was just Aurora mention, I would put it in S, but now that I have to contend with 4 other maps.
Man,
Yeah.
I
Most
don't
of
know. I
them are
think
nice.
all the startup maps are pretty well made.
Well, here's a simple way of putting it. I think if we all just like thought about Aurora, we'd probably put it in S. So let me just list the other maps, and someone say if they think another map might bring it down to C. So you've got Aurora, then you've got Aquatic Ruin,
Nah,
and you've got
that's mine. I
Buzzy's
feel like
Dream
it's
Box.
the one that doesn't belong.
It was the original startup map.
Yeah, that's
is
what I'm
a
saying.
startup
Like it
map.
kind of deserves to be there.
Oh, okay, well
It
that's different. I
is.
didn't know
Yeah.
there was the...
Mario
Sorry.
Kart maps too.
Yeah, then we've got Buzzy's Dream Box.
Okay.
This is a good map.
Then we've got Green Flower Zone Act 1, which mine Alberto made, as you said.
Very pretty.
Not been on it yet.
And
Yeah,
then
I
we-
actually never played that one.
And the last one, no, not the last one, sorry. The next one is Mario Kart 2.
I
Classic.
forgot about that.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that one. And then the last regular one in rotation is Sky Archive.
Yeah, that one's really good too. Ignoring the
Incident.
situation with that map.
Ignoring
Yeah,
that, yes,
it's
yeah.
still really
Yeah.
good map.
Yeah.
They're all
Let's not talk about
very pretty. I know a lot of more feature-packed trade maps, to be honest, but they're good.
I don't think that Aquatic Ruins age should bring down the rest of the maps in.
Well, I
the
didn't know it was
starting
old. I
rotation.
thought it was made recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No,
let me just say this way. Like I think the point of startup maps is basically to just be that cool hangout spot for like 10 minutes before the server like votes a different mode, right? And to that extent, I think pretty much every map achieves that goal, like in rotation right now.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I'd put it like at high A or even like S tier, to be honest.
I think S is fair.
I'm also S.
Highly fair.
I think that's fair. How do we
None
feel
of them are
about...
steamroll slag though.
How do we feel about Bomber Mod?
F tier.
I hate it.
F tier shit. Actual.
I hate it. F or actual shit.
Alex.
Bomber
I love
Mod?
Alex,
I disagree.
Fix your damn mode, all right?
I
And I'll put it
disagree as
higher.
well.
This game mode is F tier. I love you, man. I do.
I-
But it sucks.
Bomber Mod
It
is
really
C
sucks.
tier minimum.
Oh, really?
No, but it's from the old bomber. I don't care. It still sucks.
I'm still talking about like current and just what we have available. I see it's not a mode that, like, you know, if it shows up in the server browser, I'm gonna vote for first. But I also don't mind if I get it. It's just dumb fun. You click, you don't stop clicking, you pick funny power-ups up, and then boom, it's over because it's a short mode as well. Like, so
Like,
there's
see,
no
that's
issue.
my main issue. Bomber mod, like, I just don't think it translates. Like, I think the game mode just fundamentally just does not work. I don't think it works in FPS setting. Just Bomber mod as a whole. I mean, like Bomberman. Like,
Works
I guess,
in
like a Bomberman style
Gmod.
mode.
I mean, I can bridge the gap with you there, certain. Shove it in D, because for mindless fun, I don't think it's bad. But if the only thing I'm voting it for is it's not something in actual shit or F tier, then I don't know.
I just
Above
think it's
Huntsman
mind-numbing, to be honest.
I think the
just do not
mindless
like
fun
it.
is too mindless.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
really,
it
it really
on.
is just
And,
spamming left click and just hoping you don't die. Honestly, that's why I think it feels like.
Maybe I could see it go down to F then, because, like, again, like, if my criteria for Huntsman Hell being low was, you know, it's not that memorable, and I mean Bomber Mod's kind of the same, but I feel like it also has issues, so I think F
I
might
feel like
be.
Bomber Mod has actual issues that make it worth putting in F.
Yeah, like I'd say at least in Huntsman Hell, like you actually have to sort of think. Like that's what I'll say. Like
I'd
to
go
argue
that
that.
far, but
Yeah, Bomber mod is just spamming most of the time.
are we feeling a D
How
or
did
an F?
I just get that kill? Is constantly the question you ask when you play Bomber Mod. It's like, oh, I just killed someone by complete accident.
It's
Unless
pretty
you're on the
dopamine
board.
Now I'm
inducing though
dead.
when you kill someone and you
Yeah.
see all the power-ups explode out of them though.
The faster reload and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I will say the one thing is the one special round, the true Bomberman, the one that spawns rockets with bombs. That one is funny. I do like that one. That's the one thing I will say positive about Bomberman.
what do you think of Soldier Madness?
Doesn't belong.
This whole thing is. Let's just move on.
I put it at
And
Yeah.
Sui in
Just,
post, if you could pause this for
I'll
2
let-
seconds, because I need to turn off my Discord notification.
Womp womp.
No, I don't think I will.
No,
Womp womp.
I think you will.
Womp womp.
Womp womp
Womp womp. All right.
womp womp.
Still recording. It's still recording. Awesome. Right. Okay, let's continue. We are back. How do you feel about class warfare?
Actual shit. The game mode is ruined by coins and shitty map rotation.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
I was gonna say like B or C.
I like it.
No.
I was gonna say B or C as well. Holy shit,
What the
Forge, where did that come
Okay,
from?
okay, let the man explain himself. This is why we
Okay,
brought
I'll
6
explain.
people.
Yeah,
here.
let him explain.
I'll let you cook.
Unironically, class warfare is ruined by coins and the map rotation. I
The
can
map
deal
rotation?
with getting I can deal with getting spy versus medic or whatever, and the medics will uber chain me to death. That's whatever, right? What I can't deal with is getting pyro versus heavy coined for the 4th time on a map and being the pyro player with minus 125 health to the heavy.
Okay.
I would
That's
agree
where
with the
if they
coin.
toggle an inverted space coin, you just fall to your instant death. I'm looking at you, break.
Break.
It's a map pool.
I feel that. I feel that with the coins fully. I
There's-
fully.
Yeah,
get
I
that.
definitely agree.
What about the
Coins that
map
have
one?
to
Let me
ruin it.
go back to that part. What's wrong with the map pool?
There's a lot of maps that are just generic Koth map or arena map that's
Okay.
been kind of staple fitted.
Mm,
I think the one I keep constantly ending up on is like this
the train one?
series of spy islands
Oh.
with a control point in the
Yes,
middle and one
yes,
house
I
on
know
the
which one you're
side.
talking about.
And it's so biased in favor of classes that can jump or something, because if you don't have mobility, you just lose on the spot because you get bombed from on high. Or maps that have really long sight lines, snipers just win on the spot.
But I mean, part of the fun is the lack of balance.
Well, I'd attribute that
Sometimes
to
having
Man
just
v
a really
Man,
funny
but,
round
like,
of like stupid bullshit.
It does feel good to win as an underdog class and stuff like that, don't get me wrong. I can have fun with it, just incredibly rarely because of the coins and the maps.
I fully support coins being either removed entirely from the game mode or like very few, at least maximum of, like 3 per cycle.
I mean,
the map.
looking at the map
Actual
stuff.
shit might be too harsh coming from me, but I wouldn't put it any higher than D tier. I do not
You're
care
gonna have
for
to
it.
fight with some people because it sounds like everybody else is feeling like a strong
Yeah.
B.
But I'd like to hear why people like it so much personally, because
I-
maybe I'm looking at it through a jaded lens. You know?
I think you're looking at it from too critical a lens. I fully believe the coin bullshit. I get that.
Yeah,
But I
I
think
definitely.
as a base, the lack of balance is kind of the fun sometimes. Sometimes it's funny to just roll up with, Spy versus Pyro, and it's like, oh, well, I'm fucked, whatever, this is stupid. But you kind of think it's stupid in a funny way, because it's not like these are big 25-minute game modes. You're in there for like 8 rounds tops.
One
You
thing
know.
that makes me like think why class warfare could be also well, like on C tier is one, you get to play other classes and you can kind of learn them as well, trying to strategize a bit. Like for example, with medics and stuff, you have to kind of learn to do also teamwork, which of course is TF2, with the medic chaining, and thinking like who could do the attacks and stuff. Coin spam, of course, that's fucking bullshit. But I feel like the map rotation as well. Looking at them right now, most of those maps are okay. Well, I'm seeing like a map like Hammer Time. That's of course not working. But like most of the maps, I think they would work fine for Class Warfare.
I get
Like pretty
not
normal.
liking generic cough maps, but I like them, okay? Sometimes it's good to play TF2 that feels like TF2.
Well, that's why Stock Classic exists.
We'll get to that. But, I don't know. I think it's fun, and at worst, again, it's a very short game mode. You're not in there forever. And I think it's good that we have some, just silly fun short game modes that aren't 30-minute nothing burgers of waiting in arena. Like, again, you're in and out of
I'll
Class
give you
Warfare.
that. The arena wait times are atrocious. That's why I
Yeah.
love freeze tag. But we'll get there
We'll get there.
eventually.
I don't
Yeah,
think
coins
it's shit.
definitely bring the experience down, but I still don't think I honestly I think it's like minimum like C tier at the very least.
I don't
As
mind it.
long as it's above Hero Fortress, then I'm okay with where it goes. Like,
Why
if
is
it's
Hero
not
Fortress
decent-
your marker for everything?
I.
Yeah, Hero Fortress is our
Yes, it
baseline.
is. It's vanilla plus,
That's
right?
That's fair,
That's
honestly.
the design intent. Is it stock TF2 plus?
Hmm.
It's not a bad grader.
Alright. That almost makes me want to think, should we put Hero Fortress in C?
No,
No, absolutely not.
No.
put Class Warfare in C and let's move on, please, before this takes 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
fine. We'll adjust it. We'll adjust
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
specific things
respect Sui
later.
having to edit this all.
That's true. And June, I think, works.
Dolly, if this goes
Don't
above
worry,
2
I've-
hours,
I've
I'm
tried.
going
Oh,
to
it
That's
is
start
all.
going
It's
enforcing
above
not
2
no more
hours.
than
That's
3
not
hours.
negotiable. That is already gonna
because you're
happen.
gonna have to pay me then.
No, I'm gonna
Good.
pay you. I'm gonna
I
pay
was gonna
you.
say we've been going for almost an hour now, looking at the time,
Yeah. Okay, let's
and we've done how much?
let's not worry too
Death
much
Run.
about the
Oh.
specific which spot it's in right now. All right, we'll do that maybe
yeah,
later.
that,
but we
that
should
can
do.
come later if we
We'll
have
be
to-
We'll do that
looking-
at the end.
We'll come back to that when we've got every mode in a tier,
Yeah,
at
let's
least.
get everything tiered first.
Death Run.
It's
like Death
so
Run.
map
I'm
dependent.
fine with it. It is
I
yeah,
have
it is
thought
really
on
map
it.
It's
dependent.
so hard to rank because it is probably the most map-dependent game mode.
I'd say that's probably SCF, but
Yeah,
Just
and
don't
no,
like
no,
spinners.
SCF. I
SCF is the most map dependent for sure.
That one would be the only map I would put in a fucking actual shit thing.
You see,
Did
I
not
think
expect that
it's
from you.
C tier. Go on. Why is it actual shit?
I mean, I know it's a disagreement here between every one of you, but for me, it's just the main problem is the constant waiting of like when the last person or like the last few people that are still at spawn or something, then take a while to stall still.
Mm.
Like most of the time, you don't even get any playtime, and that's the problem also with Arena, of course.
Yeah, that's an arena thing.
And also kind of a person issue.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like something I've noticed as
Is
well.
that
With
a
like,
thing you can levy against the game mode, or is that just arena being arena?
I mean, most every Death Run map has some form of like motivator and spawn, at least.
Assuming he's
yeah.
That's a
scratch out
map
the wait
problem
time,
if it's
like,
not there.
Is there anything else outside of the wait time between lives that irks you about Death Run?
I don't know really how to respond to that really.
Do we address the neo-norification of Death Run?
Uh,
In what way? In aesthetics or in map design?
In terms of like,
just map,
alright, my
like,
opinion
I
has
think
always
you mean-
been, I don't think neo-nor is bad as a map. I think the problem is that every map tried to be neo-nor going forward. Every map now has like
Yeah.
a 5-minute parkour section at the end.
yeah, just maps basically, different maps basically becoming like fucking parkour maps with like traps added, so
I think
some
it's,
traps added onto
like,
them.
Good to have
You
some
know-
parkour, but it's like, fuck you.
That is true. I don't want to do like 3 minutes of fucking bullshit ass parkour just to get to the end and do a spinner, for God's sake.
Yeah, and if you mess up once, you're just dead for the
And you
entire
die.
Or another
for it.
5-minute parkour section for a fucking
water
battle.
run, by the way.
I mean, I like the platforming maps. Sans Water Run, screw that.
I like
Screw that.
Water One
In
because it's the
heaven.
logical endpoint of Obby
Yeah,
Definite.
where
It's
the map
so
just
far
devolves
into the
off.
idea that it's kind of amusing in its own regard.
You forgot about Champions Destiny.
I played it once.
Yeah.
I
Has
love Champions
anyone-
Destiny.
I don't think
Has
it's
That
in
anyone
map is so
seen
rotation.
fucking
Cyber
funny, dude.
Tower, actually.
Say again, Forged?
Cyber Tower. It's a relatively new map.
Don't remember it.
Cyber
dear.
Tower.
It
Yeah.
combines a bit of platforming, but the death actually gets to choose which section the runners have to do.
Oh yeah.
It was
Like
really
the map
interesting.
developer showed up when that was being played recently to like discuss the map. I think that's a good one as well. I think the
Interesting.
platform concept can be executed correctly. It's just like don't overdo it and then just place a 3 to 5 minute section at the end of your
Yeah.
map just so that we can go and play
Yeah.
spinner. But if you make the map designed around it, I think that's cool.
Stuff like DR PlayStation's intermixing of it into the regular gameplay.
See, I
with,
think
like,
Death Run
the-
PlayStation
the
is the worst
stuff
Death Run map.
I like it.
I think it's
I like it.
shit.
The way that the platforming is mixed in with the traps and the environment is mwah, chef's kiss.
If this
In my
was a
opinion,
Death
at
Run
least.
map ranking, that would be my freebie usage, is
veto,
putting
yeah.
Death Run enough. Or, not Death Run,
That should be
fucking
another
PlayStation.
episode, to be honest.
No, it shouldn't.
We're not doing a
Yeah.
tier list after this.
We're
This is the
gonna tier
last
list.
After
one.
mystery map tier list that didn't come out, I would rather kill myself.
I'd say Death
If
Run
we
is
were
at
to ever
least-
do one again, and we're not, but if we were, I think Death Run would probably be the most reasonable because it is so map dependent. But I'm not. No, we're never doing it.
But
There's
it-
also-
But if
Count
we
me out
were-
for the rating of Death Run.
How do you feel about Death
Can
Run
we
itself?
soften you up to a high D tier, perhaps?
I think it's
I
only fair
D?
putting it in
I'd
C
say
because of
it's
how
a bit
map
egregious.
dependent
say
it is.
I don't
Citra at
know.
least.
That's too low.
I would like. I would settle for C.
I think
Yeah, I
C
say like
because
high,
it's map
high C, low
dependent
B.
to the highest
It's a
degree.
good 50-50 usually with Death Run.
Yeah, we feel
I
C.
think even the worst Death Run map, I can still enjoy to a C tier level of. you know.
Yeah.
I enjoy it more than Hero Fortress, Stop That Spy, Crabble Huntsman Hell, you know?
Alright.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I'll say this: I might be shouting into the void, but I don't care. Death Run map creators, stop putting fucking spinners in your map. Do something else.
Be
If it's a long ass
Be
Death Run
original.
map, I don't mind a spinner at the end because that's short. Either short map
No, I
with long.
especially minded the
ending.
fucking spinner after a long ass map. What
Well,
the
we're
fuck
not,
did
we're
I
not
do all
getting
that
hung up
for?
on this on the fucking spinner. We're not adding another 10 minutes on this for spinner, okay?
Louis,
We're
how
just
do you feel
moving.
about DR Spinner?
Fuck.
You got any
I'm gonna
feelings?
rip out the
That's
guy who
really
made that
fucking-
in his throat.
That one's really fucking up. We're not talking about
Okay, you
spinners
know-
for 10 minutes. We've already
Move on
ranked
to
it.
Prop Pop before I lose my goddamn mind.
Okay, top five. This one's gonna be interesting. I'll let you guys go ahead. Go
Someone
on.
else start, because I'm not doing it again.
I
Think
do not care
carefully.
for prop hunt.
Yeah, I don't see it. I really don't care for it.
It's another mode that I have no issue playing, but I don't particularly find it the most fun. It's
I
like
see.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
it's-
say.
It's hilarious when you spectate somebody who's in a goofy spot because it's like back in the day on YouTube on Gmod prop hunt where you giggle at insane spots and people just, trolling their friends. That's the sort of thing that makes the mode, in my opinion. But like the actual game itself, kind of standard to me. I'd probably put it high D or C.
So this is the opposite
I
of Fort
feel
Wars.
like,
I think it's fantastic. For that
Oh, I
reason.
like
Really?
Prop Hunt.
I like the silly Gmod like prop hunt moment. I like that shit. I like being in silly funny spots.
Right.
I like being a silly goober.
How often do you get the silly funny spot rounds, and how often do you get somebody U-turning as like a window with an invisible back in the sky?
Exactly.
I do that
2
most of the
minutes.
time, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
That's me.
it's one of those modes that's either really dull and boring, like the arena wait times, or you get those rare high moments, in air quotes,
Rare high
where
moments.
it's the best game mode you've ever played.
I will
It's
say
so flip-flop.
I don't like a lot of the Redsun specific balances for prop hunt. I think like engineer dispensers is fucking stupid.
I mean, I hate
I think
Pyro's
any
random
healing
flaming all
outside
around.
of the control point is dumb and stupid. That's my take.
Not to disservice what Miku has done for the mode, because he's done a lot for it, but old Prop Hunt was probably the best that it's been. It was probably the most fun version of it. Not to say that it can't still be fun, but I kind of prefer the old version.
That's fair.
I'll play it. Like, not to say I really will enjoy it too much, but I still could enjoy it, I'd say.
I enjoy it more than I don't.
Well, what were you gonna be considering though?
But
High D or low
It did
C?
sound like we're aiming somewhere in the DC range.
I'd throw my hat for at least a low C.
I feel C.
Yeah,
But-
I'd say below DR. That's what I'll say.
Fair.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like it's going through growing pains, you know. Miku's got 1,001 other things he's more interested in working on than Prop Hunt.
I'm very
There's issues
interested
with
in his
it,
new
but
version whenever
Nobody
that
wants
gets
to
made.
work on them.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
with a bit of polish, you could bump it up to a B most likely, but as it stands now, probably low C.
It's just one of those legacy modes that's going through kind of its midlife crisis right now.
Yeah.
It'll get its
I mean,
new
how old
coat of
is
paint.
Prop Hunt?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Like, you know, it's almost a decade old at this point, if a little more than that, actually.
Yeah.
How do we feel about dodgeball? I'm gonna lead this one. I'm leading strong. I think dodgeball is shit. I fucking hate
I-
dodgeball. I fucking hate
I
dodgeball.
love
I think
dodgeball.
it's slop. It's gonna be the first
Dodgeball, I
time.
would say
First
above
and only
Class
time anybody's
Warfare.
gonna say slop on this fucking episode. It's gonna be me. I think it's slop. It's disgusting. I hate it.
I think we should put dodgeball in A.
It's a waste of fucking time. It's a waste
yeah.
of fucking energy. It's
Just to survive
It's
jolliness.
it's another coin spam game mode, like fucking what's your name? What's your name? Class Warfare. It ruins it. It can't fucking figure the shit out. It's doing the funny coins. I don't want the funny coins.
I
I want.
love dodgeball so much.
I hate
love it.
dodgeball. I hate the
actually
maps.
have a
I
take
hate
about
how
dodgeball.
competitive it is. I hate how many items there are for it. I hate it.
Okay, but
Yeah, I think that dodgeball at its core is an A tier game mode, but I think the way it's played by players makes it a C tier game mode. There is nothing that enrages me more when playing dodgeball than the jetpack over at the other side and people just, absolutely spamming mouse 2 in your face because they're on your side and they're just juggling rockets near you. It is the most boring way to play the mode ever. It's not intuitive. It's literally just a guess and praying you read the opponent correctly when they actually send the rocket to you. Like, if I ever had the ability to remove something from a mode, it would be the ability to cross sides in dodgeball, like, for free.
Security
let me add something
system
to you.
takes over Squidward's house.
Let me just add another thing. Bounce coin.
I hate balance coin. I want to remove.
Well, hang on,
okay.
how does that impact dodgeball, though?
The demons of Babylon are being summoned. Okay, I'm looking at this from an objective, clean slate, dodgeball only. No coin shit. Like, if you were to join a dodgeball server and just go for dodgeball, I think it's A tier.
Man, you guys have
I
such
mean,
strong opinions over this. Like, I'm just fine with it.
Even then, I think it evens out to like a B. The problem for me is that if someone else on your team is just really good at dodgeball, because of the amount of rockets going back and forth, you could just sit there AFK and not even have to
Mods,
play the
summon
entire game.
Grem.
Sometimes a rocket will not
Yeah,
come
just
to
stand in the
you.
back.
It's like
True.
the arena wait time problem, but you're still alive, and you get to do nothing. Which is,
You
not
win.
to say purposefully handicap yourself. I don't play to win. I play to play the game. That's my outlook on it, at least. If I don't
I
get to play
definitely
the
have
game,
friends like that. That's
I
fair
may
to
as well be
say.
doing other stuff.
See, I
Yeah.
don't know, because the thing is, like, I didn't like to use dodgeball, but that's because I sucked at dodgeball. It's one of the few rare cases of a game mode where it's actually applicable to say, get fucking good, kid. And I did. I got good, and that's why I like it now, because it's actually skill-based, kind of.
I think that
Unless
makes it
somebody
a shit
uses
game mode on a
dangerous
server with
speed
like
point
20
as
game
the
modes.
rocket's about to hit you. Yes.
Like, okay, yes, like, regarding us, the coins and all that, but, like, that one motherfucker on the enemy team who's the reflect god and who always kills you, it makes me so enraged in, like, a good way, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get better and fucking beat you because I'm tired of this, and it makes you want to do better, and it makes you strive for higher things.
That's an opinion you can have, for sure.
That is an opinion, according
How-
to Joey.
Let's just
I-
throw out some letters and we'll average it.
It's a
I'm
good motivator.
fine with it. Like, I will play it. I'm really not that good at dodgeball, but like I will still play it. I think it's still enjoyable.
It'd
to
be
be
my
honest. I'd say
actual
like
shit.
B tier.
But yeah, throw out some letters, we'll, average it out.
No.
I say like
What?
low B at least.
Yeah.
Could it be
Hey.
Yeah.
B,
Low B.
Lobby.
B? We all feeling B?
Sorry.
I can relate to Sui's tale of getting good. Star in a pond would always kick my ass at dodgeball, and the first time I beat him legitimately in a 1v1 was euphoric. Just B tier, just for that.
Yeah, when you have duels, it's so fun. Like I think I'm pretty good at dodgeball, like just the core mechanics of it. And I used to have a load of duels with having another bag of chip,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah.
it would usually go back and forth. He'd beat my ass sometimes. Then when I get him, it'd be like yes. Like I would do a little fist bump in my chair. So like it can provide some really fun moments. So I think B is good for it.
I'll settle for B. Just know where my allegiances lie.
Also, one of the only few modes where you get to use your music kit.
The only other one is TF-Go, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you, Miku, for adding.
Oh, by the
music
way,
kits
for
to TF-Go.
dodgeball, when Renzo's on it,
Good luck.
Jesus Christ.
How do we feel about freeze
Drandor
tag?
as well, one of the dodgeball titans.
Oh.
If he's on the enemy team, hang up your bag because you're not going home.
Yep.
Or get better.
I think
Freeze
it was
tag.
Forged earlier who had an opinion on a freeze tag he kind of led on to. But how do we feel about freeze tag?
Should I start then?
I'll let you
Go ahead.
proceed,
Oh,
friend.
so everyone seems to have a problem with waiting in arena, right? That's the arena issue.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze tag fixes that. It gives you hope. Because even if you die, you are still allowed to come back into the game, provided that your team can revive you. Which is what I think is the best thing about that mode. It might just be Arena Plus, but it's still Arena Plus. There's something extra
It's
there.
Arena Plus drawn by somebody who can actually draw a straight fucking line and can make a plus.
You know?
Arena if it was good.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's just, it gives you hope. I don't know why, that really
It
got me.
does.
It really does. I think
You
it's
can come back
great.
from having only one player unfrozen on your team to winning the entire round. I've seen it happen, and when it does, it feels good.
It is
and
a
it's
shockingly
still
good
skill-based as
vanilla
well.
plus game
It's a
mode, I
skill-based
think.
game mode.
I think the only thing
I-
that like freeze tag may have issues again is a bit the map rotation, but most of the time
Yeah,
it actually
yeah.
doesn't really matter too much, and it's quite fun usually as well. Like you can really be at the bottom, but you can really rise up fast if you know where the players went and stuff.
I'd call it in a high B or low A.
I feel like
don't
I can
think it
feel
goes
A,
higher than an
honestly.
A because of how
I'd agree
agree.
with A.
you can't go higher than an A just because of how basic the gameplay is with freeze tag.
Yes, but I would argue could have get an A because I don't know. The thing I used to hate freeze tag, right?
I used
Crazy,
to
I
hate freeze
know.
tag, and at some point I kind of just grew up and realized I liked it. It's
Yeah, I
That'll be
realized how much of
something
a good game mode it is.
I'll mention in a couple game modes, but I kind of came to appreciate some of the simpler game modes over time. That's kind of how I feel about Class Warfare now. Is I kind of appreciate shorter game modes that don't end up being 20-minute nothing burgers of try hard no awfulness. It's just fucking freeze tag. It's just better arena. Hell yeah.
Gotta love those moments that when you're getting revived, suddenly a soldier rocket arrives and then crits you anyway.
I'm
But
glad
I
I
think
could
it's
come
A.
here and advocate for freeze tag today. I was really worried that it would end in like F tier or something.
No, we're all smart individuals, although somebody's been very quiet about their opinions on freeze tag.
How are you feeling, sir? Any last minute objections?
Not really. Like I said, yeah, when you were talking about it. It's a mode that not the most standout one for me, but I think that it does its job well. And I think the example you made of a soldier rocket is really funny because it's just like, oh, cool, I'm getting revived. You turn around and you've just got a heavy revved up, a medic behind him ready to pop an Uber, and it's like, oh, I got revived. But
I love tilting
Oh,
chatty
look,
people by
know
taunting
what?
in front of their frozen body.
that is pretty funny to be
Right.
fair. Like I do
Yeah.
enjoy stuff like that.
It's great.
So, yeah, I'm
Especially if
happy
it's
with
like on
A.
smaller maps too. Those are chaotic.
I like it a lot though. I think A is fine. How do we feel about glass attack?
S tier immediately.
Ew.
Damn.
It's a question of, do you like playing sniper or not?
Can you aim?
So
I feel like the environmental kill part of it is pushed to the side way too much, and it just boils down to
that's
sniper
what I
rules.
have to talk about because I feel like glass attack really is a fantastic, at least B or higher game mode, but it is held back so strongly by its map pool.
It's just attack.
Too many maps have too much room to sit. And if it's
Like
just
the-
sniper battles, then it's just like this is worse Huntsman home. Right?
Yeah,
But if it's a
definitely.
good map, then it's peak. The one I always bring up is the one I believe Screwdriver made, the hexagon one. That one. You know the one I'm talking about? The snowy one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
it's
not
I
ice
think it's
one, yeah,
literally
ice
called
one.
Hex, but like
Yeah,
it's all glass, no frills, or no, all frills. There's the lack of
pillows.
not frills. It is all glass. The sight lines aren't obnoxious. It's great. It's perfect. If every glass attack map was that quality and did not have so many fucking platforms to just sit your ass on, I believe people would be very, very big fans of this game. But it's held back by the
You're
map
supposed to
pool.
play. You're supposed to play with danger in that game.
Yeah, like usually it's kind of easy to project how a glass attack round goes. You know, round start, front panes are knocked out. You know, you've got at least half of the team staying behind in spawn just to have sniper battles with the other team. You know, maybe someone will get lucky and make it out. They probably get headshotted instantly just because of the way the maps are designed. It's so easy for sightlines to exist. So I agree, it's the map pool itself. Glass attack itself is pretty fun, but I think that the maps and, you know, how it's kind of evolved to be played over time makes it a little bit meh. So I'd probably say B or C.
Mm.
I'm just gonna randomly throw it. Map makers of class attack. If you see this, make it that the spawn slowly turns into a class platform itself, so people cannot camp. Thank
Mm.
you.
thanks for Glass Reservoir, Ethan. Love you very much.
Glass attack is what makes me want to be a hammer mapper. Because I
It's
can
a
make
good
20
question,
I can
yeah.
make 20 good glass attack maps and we can get rid of all the shit ones with unbreakable platforms. I could be
Joey,
the
I
Alex
agree.
Turtle of
For
glass
FDF.
attack. I could be the Alex Turtle of glass attack, okay? and I'm one schizophrenic
I can't
meltdown
wait
away
to
from
see
it. But I really like it.
I don't care for Last Attack too much. I
Give
don't
it
really like
time.
playing Sniper anyways, so
It'll hit when I learn how to map hammer.
I'd say
Alright,
like
trust me,
C2.
trust me.
It's a B tier mode with D tier maps, and for
True.
that reason, C tier feels the most accurate.
I wouldn't judge people for putting C.
I would
Yeah,
put it over
I'd
Blood
love
Hunt,
to put it somewhere higher, but I can't.
We'll
in
do the
good
individual
conscience-
tiers later,
No.
like
Oh, sorry.
in
It just-
between, because I'm trying to save time, you know.
Glass Attack just ends up devolving into I don't want to play Sniper Wars anymore. I'm gonna pull out my melee and beat people to death.
I think we're not gonna find a better assessment than what you just gave of it being a B tier game mode with a D tier map pool. I think that really does summarize it so well.
True.
Are we all comfortable with
And the C
then?
compromise keeps it
Yeah,
at D, so
yeah.
I'm happy with it.
I'm gonna take this time to stop pretending that I like Glass Attack.
What?
If I could, I'd put it in D,
Pretending?
and that's all I'll say.
I'm not being funny, Stewie. I really do mean everything I've said.
I mean that.
Okay. Okay.
I'd
Stewie.
put it in F if
You're
I could,
too late.
but we're
You're
not.
too late. It's insane.
Gun
If I could
game.
only put it in F. Don't be coy.
It's okay, buddy. We'll get there eventually.
It's okay.
If I could, I
We have
would.
plenty of things to have strong opinions on here, alright?
I'm biding my time.
Speaking of strong opinions,
Gun game. How do you feel about gun game?
Louis, good or
I don't
bad?
like it.
Shit.
It's okay.
It's
It
shit.
is
I don't
fine
like
shit.
unless you get if you get any melee round, it automatically goes to actual shit.
Yes.
tier.
Not
actual
even not
shit.
even melee round. I just think it sucks in general. And here's my big goober bomb I've been thinking about for a long time whenever I think of this game mode. I think it is probably one of the worst TF2 game modes. Purely for how strongly it deletes class identity.
Mm,
Really.
Because
I don't
think about it.
it
Think
deletes
about it
classicity.
for a second. You're kind of just throwing shit. What you're playing doesn't really matter. It's,
I mean,
and you could say that for a couple
Okay.
game modes. I don't know why I feel so differently about gun game for some reason, but I always have thought this. I think it's bad. I think it's just bad. I don't like it.
I mean,
don't...
isn't that kind of the point of gun games?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the point of that
Exactly. I
game.
think it's a
What you
bad
got?
idea. I think it's a bad idea. How about that?
the only exception to that rule you mentioned about class identity is when you're on a flare gun trying to hit a pyro player because everyone's on the same weapon and they're all pyros with flare
Yes.
gun, and you're there in a pissing match for like 5 minutes trying to get anything done, and then you give up and pull out the home wrecker because you're done.
And then someone else kills you with the homewrecker,
Yes,
There
and
are-
then you
yeah.
go back to the
and then
flare
you have to
gun
do it again.
and go over
There are,
again.
there are definitely bottlenecks in gun game where you get to certain guns where it's just like God help us all, because getting kills with them is like literally shooting each other with water guns. But I think gun game overall is a great mode. I love the intensity of it. It's literally just you keep shooting until it's over. Like you lock in, you pray you win. And those rounds that you do, especially on a full pop server, are probably some of the funnest things to do.
Okay, so explain
But-
to me, riddle me this, Redsun. How is gun game not as brainless as Bomber Mod?
I don't-
Because, yeah, there's only one method of killing in bomber mods, which is the explosive. Gun game, you are cycling through various modes of hit
You're
scan,
playing a
projectile.
random spawn arena map all over the place, just fucking throwing shit around. There's no thinking. You press W and shoot, and there's no
Don't
brain.
like the random spawns.
I don't like.
I
the
also
random-
don't like how you get 2 weapons back to back.
Random spawns have to be a thing though.
Well, they
Because like,
can-
if
yeah,
you have
yeah,
only
two-
one singular spawn, you can just have like somebody spam army of ones and
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't like that, but to be fair, that does kind of have to exist for the game mode to exist. But I think it sucks. Okay, I think it sucks.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see.
I'll take
I
your
can't see gun
compromises.
game below B.
I'll take your compromises. But
We
I
put
will
it in
say
D.
at least
Free
like
for
high
all.
D. Like, I put it above Hero Fortress. Like you gotta at least put it above Hero Fortress.
Yes.
Okay.
We gotta take Wing
I'd-
Sui.
I'd put Gun Game above Redsun Court minimum.
Ugh.
Ugh.
No,
What?
it can't leave D tier.
Wait, really?
It totally
Okay,
can.
let's just settle for D, Sui. I know we're looking for lower, but we gotta settle. Okay.
I don't think it's just me, but all right.
Yeah.
It's me and you,
It
Sui.
really isn't just Sui.
All right, you know what? You want something lower? How about Instagib? All right, actual shit.
Whoa, okay. Instagib
Nasty
is
tier.
interesting.
Instagib is actual shit.
In its state, I think it's not very good. But
It is
I
fun
will
game,
say it would be
much.
great if we had an actual Quake mode. It'd be great if we had an
Listen,
actual Quake mode.
It is Quake. If you took out everything that makes Quake Quake, I hate it.
Listen, okay, I think it definitely is not top tier. I do honestly believe people hate on it too much.
I wouldn't
I'm just saying.
mind an actual Quake game mode with like an Instagib special round every now and then. Or like an Instagib weapon pickup, but I think it's, you know, as is, it is shit, and every time I've played it, I have distinctly thought, God, I just wish I was playing an actual Quake game mode.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't be that hard to make.
Every time I play Instagib, I think I wish I was playing anything else.
Hmm.
It
I
could be
think-
fine.
I think the concept is fine, but obviously Instagib for an extended period of time at this point has been plagued by issues, and obviously they are trying to remedy this by the server-side tracers, but some people feel like that
But I
didn't
feel
help
like
at all.
you're doubling down on the Instagib. I don't think the Instagib is the fun part. I think the fun part is Quake.
Which this
I
is
have
not.
to- I'm gonna throw myself into it, but I think like Instagib is having the same problems as like Bombermod.
What?
It's just mindless shooting in a way, and most of the time, like those special rounds, they don't really make it better, and it's just running around and trying to hope you get a hit. It's just like Bombermod.
Yeah.
Do I
And you
like
know
it
what?
more than Bombermod?
This will compound it, Jolly. Quake is all about movement, right?
Mhm.
There's a badge for Instagib where you stand still and kill 3 people. If
Mm.
that
got
isn't the
that 2 weeks
most
ago.
brainless thing I've ever heard of, to try and incentivize anyone to play that mode.
Weird argument, but
astounds me.
I get your angle though 100%. I would have. That's such a fun source to use, I guess. But I feel that. I don't like it. Do I like it more than Bombermod though? That's really the question here.
I would rather play Bombermod. I mean, no. I would rather play Instagib, not Bombermod.
I'd rather play Bombermod.
Really?
Hmm. How about the rest of you?
I'd rather play. I think I'm
Anything
gonna.
else?
It's gonna be close, but I think I'd probably pick Bombermod.
I'd
rather
rather
play
play
Bombermod, yeah.
Bombermod.
Okay. Wow.
Sorry, June.
Alright. That's just how it happens sometimes, June.
I'm not.
Like I don't. I don't have much of a problem with either mode, but I just think they do have a little bit of a flaw to each of them. Like Bombermod, obviously, like, and Instagib, they're both fairly mindless modes. But Instagib, like the fact that it does also contain like very definitive issues with the mode itself, then it kind of has to go a little bit lower.
No, Bombermod does
The
have
best-
plenty of definitive issues.
The best part is when you do a 1v1 with somebody and you both miss the entire fucking time.
And then you die to someone else.
Yeah.
True.
Or when I shoot someone and my tracer doesn't match where my bullet actually went and I
Yeah,
die.
that's what I was talking about. But I think duels where like you both miss 5 shots and you just stop and look at each other and someone else comes in and swoops your death away and leaves is really funny. As silly as Instagib is, I do think that it does produce some very funny moments, like when you're just playing bad.
I don't know, man. In my opinion, like Instagib is definitely flawed. I think Bombermod is more fundamentally broken. That's all. You could put an F
But
tier,
it's
I
also
don't
because
think.
Bombermod
That's all I
aspires to
would
be
say.
something bigger.
Yeah,
In a
but
way-
I think we should agree though. Let's get it in F tier.
Yeah,
It's an F
just
either
in
way.
F
We
tier.
might go back
can
on this
come back
later.
Yeah.
But it is an F, no doubt. Man versus man. How do we feel?
Hey.
Okay, interesting. This cannot be lower than Hero Fortress, or else we're all liars.
Yes,
Yeah,
it,
okay.
it can't.
At,
There lies
at
the problem.
minimum, it is
It's
C.
like
I think.
it's C tier minimum
Right?
for sure.
Where do we feel in that scale? It's not S.
But you know what?
Right?
It definitely is not an F mode. Okay, you know what? Due to the forbidden knowledge that Forged has shown me with Soldier on Man vs. Man, I love it now.
Oh, the entire reason behind Sloppenheimer, yes.
Yes,
Mm.
he showed me that I've been playing the
feel
class I've been
that-
playing wrong this whole time, and now I know how to play it correctly.
I like
I
the
would say
funny.
one thing for Man vs. Man. Like, Man vs. Man allows you to just play whatever playstyle you really want, and like what you think is probably the best for you.
With an asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Because
as long as you
generally
have
it is
money.
better to just pick power class,
Because
spam all your
if
buffs.
To counter you, you need to switch.
That's
Otherwise,
it.
you are doing nothing. You can make the resistances as expensive as you want, but as long as the round gets to that point, eventually somebody is going to be screwed out of the game because the enemy has a 90% damage reduction.
Yeah,
I just think,
Demo
like,
Night.
you should,
I'd
in
be
this
fine if
mode,
Demo
you
Night
should
was
never
just
focus
forbidden
on
from the
one.
game mode.
Like, the early game of Man v Man is really similar to stock TF2 because there's just a couple of numbers adjustments and maybe a canteen somewhere. The mid game is where it peaks. That's the best part, where everyone has some kind of resistances or build going that's different to stock. That's when you feel Man v Man. And the late game is a slow, agonizing crawl to the finish. In most cases. Not always, but in most cases.
Yeah, it's
An
like
underrepresented part, I don't mean to interrupt you, sir, but I'd also like
It's
to say
fine.
it has a pretty good map pool. All things considered. I think
Sometimes
Yeah.
most of them
Yeah.
are pretty good. They're pretty good stock energy
they
maps.
average out to be better than not.
It's above average map quality selection, I think.
Yeah, I've played some stinkers, but there are some good ones in there for
Yeah.
sure.
I
But
don't know.
I think I
I'd
think
say
the only sorry.
you want to go. You go first.
The only thing that I say against Man vs. Man is just attack and defense maps. Those kind of mid.
I don't know. I say my favorite part about playing Man v Man is just finding
I
the absolute,
disagree
like,
on-
stupidest.
attack defense, actually, because I feel like payload maps are kind of the worst for it. Because
Payload race, especially.
I
if
think
you're
it
on
brings
high
it to a
tower,
crawl.
that's never gonna end.
Oh yeah.
I think
oh
it's
my
at
god,
best
late
with control
game high
point and
tower
attack
on
defense.
MVM
It
is
doesn't end. It
Hmm.
does not end until everyone RTVs or the map crashes.
Yeah.
It's agony.
I think it's pretty good though. There's nothing
Doesn't
about
the
it that
server
really
timer
offends
actually
me.
ended?
It's really good. It's really, really good when it's good. But when it's bad, you feel it, and you're stuck there for ages.
But I also don't think it's like the most miserable awful in the world. It's just kind of
yeah, but
boring. It's
if it's getting to that point, I can just disconnect, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, man. I think it's fun. I just love running just stupid loadouts with dumb upgrades, like going like Fish Scout with like max attack speed.
a big
that's just
fan
so
of
Yeah.
fun.
max resistance heavy with Fist of Steel
Or yeah, that's
until demo night.
but yeah, it's definitely. I want to call it B tier.
I don't see it going below B tier. It has
Yeah,
to be at
yeah.
least
I don't.
I wouldn't
Well, it
mind it in
can.
A tier, but I
It's
understand B.
not-
I'll vote for B.
I would put it A tier to be honest, but we could compromise for B tier.
I'm
B,
just gonna
I-
randomly throw
I
it
can
in
take A.
engineer and Man vs. Man.
I think engineer
No.
needs instant deploy. I think he'd be so shit in the game mode without instant deploy.
I mean, to be honest, I think engineer is actually a lot more viable just being a push engineer with the insta sentry placement.
Yeah,
Than
And I
just
think
like
that's fun. I think
staying back.
anybody who argues it shouldn't be in there is stupid. Like, actually dense.
It's like the money imbalance between upgrades, which is like an MVM issue, right? Because damage upgrades are usually only 400 a point. NG's max health upgrade for buildings is 500.
Also, like,
so
don't half
you're-
of NG's like upgrades for sentries and buildings, don't they like not even work?
Yes, just because of
So-
MVM
yeah.
jank. Like the second point
Firing
of sentry
speed,
firing speed on level 3s just doesn't work.
Hmm.
It's It's unfixable TF2 jank. It's not the game mode's fault, but there is an inherent imbalance with some classes' power levels relative to other things. Sea gas being nerfed like 1,000 times over because of how ridiculous it is in PvP.
But I think Engineer needs
But
instant
B is
deploy to work.
B is a good place, I think.
I remember a pyro jetpack in the stunning. Oh god.
Oh, that was
Oh.
disgusting.
Truly.
I remember when the game mode was in its early days, developing the quick fix and enforcer meta because of the resistance piercing and the anti-stun.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
lord.
Good God. How do we feel about TFGO?
Interesting thought experiment.
Sui,
can
do you
really
wanna
tell it's
lead?
Dmitry's first login.
TFGO is a really weird place for me because I swing wildly from loving it to hating it.
Hmm. So,
I would instantly say
for
C
me,
here, maybe.
it took a couple years to hit properly. For me to kind of appreciate it. Like a lot of these game modes that are simpler, it took a couple years for me to like get it, but I really like it. I like when it comes on. And it's sad it took me that long to get it. I think it's a very fun arena game mode that, you know, it is kind of a vanilla plus kind of arena game mode, which we do have a lot of them. Kind of looking at it. But I think it's good. I think it's a very fun interpretation on that idea with the money system, with bomb and everything, and with headshots. I think it's the same general pieces, but you're approaching TF2 from a very, very different angle when you're playing like that, and I think it's kind of fun.
Quick thing, I would say, like, combat-wise, TFGO is pretty good. Just the bomb thing is a little annoying.
I think it would be better without the bomb.
It can be quite overshadowed a bit.
I think it's a decent fast-paced mode, but honestly, my only gripe with it is that I do think the experience does get worse in like the more players there are on the server.
True.
To be honest.
Agreed. I think TFGO, like it shows its age a little bit clearly, like, you know, since it's so source menu reliant. But I personally think that objective-based arena modes are a good thing. So I have fun with it. Like I think that it's a C or B tier, honestly.
I do think to some degree the
Absolutely.
problem with bomb is a little bit map dependent.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion basically echoes Cert's, where you can tell it's held down by its age and Miku's lack of experience when
Yeah,
putting
I mean, it
together.
was like
There's
his
a lot of,
first
like,
real contribution to the server.
you know, you can see some of the like design pitfalls of bringing CS:GO directly to TF2. I don't think it's inherently bad though. It's definitely a B or C tier game mode, IMO.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
sorry.
For first game mode, like just getting into programming, he still did a pretty damn good job. I'd say.
Yeah,
pretty
it
impressive.
works, right?
It is. It's just the thing about the bomb just makes me think if there were other Counter-Strike modes in there. Like, imagine playing TFGO with hostages.
I don't
You
think that's
couldn't
gonna
do
really
that
work.
on Redsun because someone on your team would just
Hostages? You mean the
delete them
spectators?
instantly.
No, actual hostages.
No,
like
I know
from
what you mean. I
Counter-Strike.
know what you meant. That'd be so shit. That would be so
Imagine
You
shit.
have
a
to fucking
VIP
corral all
mode.
these people.
I seem to remember it being discussed at one point, but obviously it didn't get any further off the ground than
I
that.
really want to see Redsun with a hostage game mode. I don't think they can handle it.
God, that'd be so goddamn
That'd be
funny.
so
That would be
funny.
really, really chaotic. If Miku ever wants to go back to that mode, that's the thing to go back to.
Please, Miku. You could make the hostage like a blodge or something. I don't know. Get
So
a
true,
first
that would
person
appease the
like
community.
Blaha holding animation. It'll be great.
Where do we seem to be landing on here, folk?
I think it's B.
High
I
C
put it
or
above
low
2.4
B?
turbo.
I'm just gonna
Actually,
put it-
I don't know, below like low B, like below maybe, man. Honestly.
I
I
was
think
gonna
it's in
put it
B,
in
though.
D, but
B.
I
I
guess we
would-
could put it in C.
I was erring on D, but C tier sounds right.
It
Yeah.
does sound like it does average out to a very high C, unless we have any last-minute objections.
Yeah, C is probably good.
If we go by averages, then yeah, it should go in C.
Hmm. I think it's B, but that's okay. We can compromise.
I think it's D, but that's okay.
Zombie.
Do we want to talk about Super Zombie Fortress yet? Are we prepared?
I'm prepared.
I've realized
Well,
we've
I've
left some
been
spicy
ready.
ones in a row.
I've been ready since
Hey, stop,
20...
hey.
What?
Put VSH back where it was.
No, I don't want to talk about
Don't
them that close. Okay, we need
Move
more.
it down.
We need
Surely
more
it's not
time.
all about you
Back.
though. It's for all of us.
I'm ready to fight for SCF's name.
I mean,
Let-
we literally have the guy who made the SCF guide in this podcast right now.
Like,
Like,
I
if he
made a
doesn't
forum
fight for it, I'm
guide for
disappointed.
If I didn't think it was an S tier game mode, why am I here, you know? You wanted strong opinions, here's strong opinions.
I fully agree. SCF is S tier. I don't care.
Well,
The-
You are not swaying my opinion.
okay.
In spite of the maps sometimes not being great, the core gameplay loop of SCF is fucking amazing. I will die on that hill.
I
I-
will say the one major flaw is that it is very map dependent, and the SCF map pool is diverse to say the least. But still, I think the core loop is just honestly one of the most fun things that we
Gameplay,
have.
how it works right now, is also pretty balanced. Like, I don't think there's anything that's really considered too bad.
I mean, there definitely are some specials like fucking hunters. There are definitely like annoying.
Hunters
but
are really strong.
you do have you do at least have some ways to deal with them.
Smokers as well, by the way, though.
It's the deaths in SCF are usually because your team abandoned you, which is mostly a map and player issue. You know, some maps just don't pace the game very well, survivors get too spread out, and then everyone dies. But I do feel like between being able to pick a class and melee weapon, you do have enough options open to you as a player to stack things as much in your favor as possible. Sometimes you get RNG screwed and just don't find a weapon for your class that's good. It is what it is.
The
But-
mode also mostly kind of depends on awareness.
Yeah. You only have one life as a survivor in SCF, and that makes things more tense, in my opinion. You know, you feel accomplished when you beat a difficult SCF map as like the last 4 survivors or something.
I get that.
Turtle attack, defense, and such is actually a good example for it.
I do feel bad for starting zombies every time. It's a very uphill battle for sure. But I think that the reworking of specials and the tinkering between, well, morale being trashed and replaced with this new system, it's tweaking, but I already think it's pretty good as it stands.
I
You go
enjoy.
first.
Okay, I enjoy SCF. I think the problem is like a lot of other modes. It has a lot of variability about how it plays out. Like,
For sure.
you know, I like maps that kind of script things like frenzies or tanks or what have you, just because you know
Like
you
some
can
sort
brace for
of V
impact.
script or something.
Say that line again.
No.
But I like it. I think it can't go below B. I just don't know if I'd put it in S.
I'll veto it into S if I have to.
Oh, you use your freebie? Insane.
I don't
There's
like-
no way
You're
you
gonna
wouldn't
need to
your
use it
freebie.
because I'm gonna lower the
I-
average by quite a bit here. I
Okay,
do not
I'm gonna
care.
veto it into S right now. Okay.
I don't even get a say.
Explain.
I don't even get a say.
There it is.
Explain your opinion, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. But put that shit in S right now.
Okay. All right.
I mean, he outright just said he's gonna tell you why you're wrong. This man is not budging. That
Come
needs
on.
to go on S.
He's gonna pull his fucking sources, dude. I don't even want to talk anymore.
I wouldn't
No.
want to argue
I'm
with the
gonna-
man who
He's
wrote
gonna
the
bust out libtard
map.
halfway through that
Go ahead.
explanation.
Why do you think it's so? Why do you think it's
What's
so
wrong
bad?
with SCF
Okay,
in your opinion?
but I don't think it's F. but I do not really care for it. I think, God, it's hard to rationalize in a way that doesn't sound like whining.
It doesn't sound
like
good.
whining.
Yeah, okay. So
Not a good
what's
start.
Not really
So
helpful.
basically, your opinion doesn't matter.
No,
But-
no.
No, come on.
I
Come
think
on.
I think it's a game mode with too much effort put in from a lot of people. But hold
What?
on,
Oh,
hold
What
on,
does that
hold
mean?
on, hold on. You have to let me cook. We let Buddy open his fucking mouth, okay? You have to let me cook at least.
What? I'm starting to think I didn't even have to use my veto on this. God damn.
Yeah, explain. Go ahead.
I-
Explain.
Come on.
My eyes are starting to squint at you, Jolly. You better start explaining real
Okay,
fast.
okay. Look, I think it is a novel game mode. I think there's too much focus put on it though. I think it goes
What?
it's trying to make it. I think no, hold on. I'm trying to think of the right
what do you mean by
word.
too much
This
It's
is getting
kind of
worse and
similar
worse.
You
to
have
what
to
happened to
level that
Death Run.
criticism against
Hold on,
SCF,
listen.
You know.
It's kind of what happened with Death Run after Neo Noir, where I feel like a lot of Super Zombie Fortress is working a little too hard to be something massive, and I think it works best when it's a little goofy, silly, TF2 Left 4 Dead. I like that. I think the loop is good. I think I get kind of annoyed with it trying to be, with every map trying to be Turtle Defense. I like Turtle Defense.
No.
I think every map is like, yeah. I feel like
I
it's
don't know
kinda
what other
tired.
maps are trying to be like Alex's,
Like,
because
whatever.
like that's the only
Whatever,
thing I can think of
whatever,
with
I'm
you
done.
saying
I'm
that
done. I'm not talking
is
about it anymore.
Alex's
I'm not
map.
talking about it
Maybe
anymore. And then boo boo.
It's literally just Turtle Attack, Turtle Defense, Lunar Base, Pen 15. Those
And
are the...
Here's the thing. Those are enriching maps because all the other ones kind of fucking suck, Jolly. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie
like,
to you,
Jolly,
alright? I'm gonna
the
be
maps are
100%.
I don't know what my argument
maps you're
was.
talking
Okay,
about
I
are,
had
like,
an
the
opinion.
best
I had
maps
an
in the
opinion.
creation.
I had an
Oh, this
opinion.
game
I
is
don't get
too
what you're
good.
trying to argue
I don't like it. Yeah, fuck off. Oh, what? You want to go play the Parish? Huh? You want to go play fucking SCF the Parish? That
Can I
fucking.
just-
I
Oh,
mean,
man,
Can I just say thank you, Forge, for using your veto and starting a very lovely and healthy conversation.
Look,
Exactly.
look,
It's
fuck
content.
you.
I came
I'll
here
be
to
back.
fight for SDF and freeze tag. I like VSH, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
I'll find a good argument eventually. Okay, I don't like it. I don't know why.
Let's talk
But
about H.
you know what?
Okay.
That's okay.
You're jealous.
I don't know. It's hard to be critical, I guess, about. Super
Anyways,
Zombie Fortress,
Micro
which I knew.
TF2. Oh my god, Micro TF2.
Sweet.
Micro TF goes
OMG,
hard.
Micro TF2, hi!
It's not WarioWare. I hate
It's
it.
not WarioWare.
Me and Sui have had this
Uh,
conversation ourselves like 5 times.
I've had
and
this
it's always
conversation
been-
already.
It's always
It's
been. I wish it was
so
WarioWare.
close. It's so close, man. It's so close.
I'm gonna do something controversial.
If you veto this,
Think wisely, sir. Think very
Oh my goodness.
wisely about what you do.
I'm using my
There's
veto to put Micro
consequences
TF2 in
for
S.
There's
what? What do you
Really?
mean? What's
Wow.
this?
Really? Wow.
You're using your veto
Yeah.
to put it in S?
I respect
Yeah.
that.
I don't think anyone
respect
was
that.
arguing with you. Hold on, maybe wait on your veto.
I don't really have anything else to veto, to be honest. Like the rest of these, I think I can see going in different tiers. Micro, I need it to be there.
Okay.
Okay.
There are weaknesses to Micro TF2, such as a couple of the boss mini games. I mean, look, we all know that the rocket jumping mini game for the boss sucks, but
No, we don't.
I think it's very, very repetitive and it's very plain, I think is the word I'd use. But I think that the game mode itself is very fun. It's fast paced. Yes, there are some unfair mini games in there, but I think because of how fast it moves, you don't have time to dwell on it and get frustrated. And like you're done before you know it. Like you literally play usually 6 whole rounds of the mode, and it feels like maybe 15 minutes have passed when it's more like 25 to 30. So I enjoy it a lot.
I think, on that note, I think the RTV should be like one less map in addition.
Yeah,
I feel like
wouldn't
the
mind.
whole extra 2 is kind of a lot.
You mean like extending, giving to
Yeah, yeah, like when you RGV and you pick extend map, I
doubling the
feel...
round size is the thing that irks me. I feel like it goes on for a bit too long, and some of the special rounds don't add anything substantial
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
core
the
of it.
thing
Like,
is slow-mo, by the way.
Tiny and TF64, they're interesting aesthetically, at least, for maybe 2 rounds, and then you realize you're just playing a regular round.
Yeah.
There was stuff like reverse text, elimination, adrenaline.
Invisibility. Like, those
Yeah,
are fun.
I would be more inclined to like it. I don't hate it, but I do have a question for you, sir.
Go on.
If you had to have Micro TF2 or WarioWare, which one would you have?
The old WarioWare, if you've ever played
Yeah.
that, sir.
If you had to say you liked one more than the other, which one?
I can feel the pressure of a million
Sui,
needles.
Sui is like just waiting.
It's your veto. We'll respect your decision.
Go
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I
Like, it's
mean-
going on S tier, I'm just curious.
I mean, I love WarioWare too. I mean, I think I only played it a couple of times just because, you know, age versus when I went into Redsun.
Yeah.
So, just because of what I have more experience with, I'd say Micro, but I'm not going to say that WarioWare is bad at all.
In a perfect world, we'd have Micro TF minigames with
I
WarioWare
would
boss
like
rounds.
to have both maps in the Micro TF2 vote option, so it's just a 50-50 on what you get, and if you've already played one, because of the vote cooldown system, you wouldn't play the other until after you'd played the other one. So you wouldn't have...
I am perfectly content with that being something they would do. If they did
Well,
that
it's
one day, I
broken.
have zero problem
It's the
with
reason
that.
we don't have it.
Yeah, but this is a very good time to shout out Fecal too,
Yeah,
because
just
apparently
Dang,
his,
if you're
his
bored,
rework,
Fecal.
his rework to Micro is 75% done, and apparently it's going to have over 60 minigames and 12 bosses.
Yeah, apparently
Really
he
looking
said it was
forward to it.
almost finished. He said he was actually gonna test it like today, like the day we were
And then
recording
the
this.
64
Wait, shit, is it
bit,
going on
yeah,
right
the
now? I'm
update
gonna end the
dropped,
episode if
so-
it is.
Womp
Yeah.
womp.
It's not, but also some other good news about the server. As we were recording, Prop Hunt just got fixed and added back to rotation.
Oh.
Yippee!
Oh, is that
Hooray.
another thing?
Perfect.
Nice.
So that means it's an A now, right?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, sure.
So true, bestie.
definitely.
So true.
Okay, but no, so... yeah, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna just keep my veto
Yeah,
for
I'm
Micro.
keeping. I respect your veto.
I respect it. I respect
I
it.
don't think anyone here was gonna like disagree with you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the start. I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. I think it's good.
You made your choice and you defended it adequately.
I mean, hey, if you're not disagreeing, then by all means put it in this and give me my veto back.
No,
Let me
no.
know.
No, I do not like Micro TF2. You have to veto that in.
Bruh.
Alright.
Anyway, so mystery map regular.
Yeah, we
so,
have two
so
mystery
just
map
to address
categories
this
for
on the
some
tier
reason.
list, it has mystery map regular and mystery map meme. I
Meme.
feel like it's wrong to rank it separately.
It is.
Well,
mystery
I
map
feel
has
like
to be
they are
all or
both
nothing.
D tier. They are both D tier.
What?
For the sheer fact that the average map you play on mystery map is dog shit. There are
Okay.
diamonds in the rough, and I love them dearly.
So me and Sui did the mystery map tier list, so I think we
I
have
will
some
not
like,
have this shit
actual
after
authority
spending
to
3
speak on that
hours
map.
of my
Hold on.
life.
Hold on a second. Hold on a
That didn't
second.
come to
Sui,
air.
go find
You
go
have
find
no
the
evidence.
image we made for the final mystery map tier list.
Yeah, I've got to see this. I've got to see this.
The thing is, though, right, I think that it is right to grade them separately, because comparing some of the regular maps, right, and then you've got, like, you know, consistent bangers, like Bone Zone, both in A's 1 and 2, Carousel, the Groupville,
What's Black Knight's one? Pirate Wars?
Power Wars, I don't see that here.
Is it in a different rotation?
Might be, but then
Yeah,
like,
I
for
think it's team
example,
battles.
like
Oh,
Wager's, Waffle House,
Wow.
Here.
yes, like a lot of maps like that are literally only available in the meme rotation, or the holiday rotation, sorry. So, I tell you what, I think a very good way
Sui
to sum
found
this
it,
up,
never
let me
mind.
just Let me just compare your meme tier list real quick, Jolly. I want to see how many of the high tier maps are in the holiday rotation. So there's Wagas, and that's at the top. Botany 2, second place. I don't think Botany 3 was even a thing by the time
No,
we.
it
No.
wasn't. It was pre-April Fools.
Yeah, exactly. So where's the first one? Come on, eyes, don't fail me now.
Yikes! Tier 2 craps in bottom tier. Thank God you didn't release that.
I was gonna say they're not gonna see this, so we're just rattling things off and leaking the forbidden podcast episode.
Yeah, don't worry. We are not sharing this.
No,
as
we've
a
posted
podcast.
this picture in general before.
Yeah, they have.
Oh,
They
have-
posted it
oh, yeah,
because of the fact they're not going to release that episode. It was like, okay, well, you guys can at least see what we discussed for like several hours, you know?
I should
get
have
it.
used my veto to put high rise in F tier. That's all I'll say.
I'm putting this episode.
Fuck you. I hate gun game.
It's Dust 2 gun game. Ew.
I like it.
Okay,
Let's focus-
mystery
let's
map as a
focus on the
whole.
episode. Let's focus on the episode.
I want to disagree before so bad, but I can't.
I can't critically disagree.
I know it hurts. It hurts me to say it. I don't want Mystery Map to be bad.
Neither do I. Like, I think
You
that,
know?
you know, there are definitely some real misses in the map
I
rotation.
think
and
30
some
out
that,
of
like,
70 is a failing grade, so...
Sometimes you want stock TF2 with a little bit of spice without having an entire new game mode layered onto it. And I feel like that's what Mystery Map Regular is there for, you know? But as far as that goes, I don't think it goes higher than D tier.
Yeah, I agree.
I could debate putting meme in air quotes in C tier,
We'll just put
just
them at the
because the
same
hits are so much
spot,
better than the
I
wall.
think.
Ugh.
I think the correct way that mystery map should be divided up is, you know, maybe even in voting, but in terms of how it should be done, I think it should be just stock with a silly map or new game mode. I think that
Yeah,
should be the way to
stock or
divide it,
special
not
thing, for
regular and
sure.
meme.
Because, like, if Mystery Map was one category on this, we'd have to contend between Convoy and, like, Wago or Mind Test being in the same thing. It's just too broad of a spectrum to rank otherwise.
But I think D is fine. We can just live with it.
I'm scared for the next one.
Are we ready for the ascension?
Oh boy.
Are we prepared? As
I
a group. We could push it off. We could do something else first.
No, we're doing this right now.
Rip the band-aid
Somebody
off
call the
now.
ambulance, I'm having a panic attack.
I'm not.
Alright.
Somebody else has to begin. I'm not ready.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
I-
Jolly.
I-
Start off.
I can do it.
So we can do it. It's fine.
Yeah, I think VSH is absolutely ruined by the community. And I don't mean that as in, you know, like everyone who always
Yep.
talks about like certain people who play it a certain way. I just think people don't appreciate it for what it is. It's like,
Agreed.
you know, how we discussed Bomber Mod and Instagame being weak for the fact that it's just a brainless point and click. But VSH, when you get boss, is have fun with this massive health pool you will never get in another game mode. Go kill as many people as you can and just try and enjoy it. It's like, yes, there are ways to ruin that, but I think, you know, abilities, the health pool, map traversal, usually because of like teleports, invis cloaks, or super jump, and then just the fact you've got a fairly varied red team experience as well. Like, as much as there's, you know, generally drama around the mode, I think that it's A tier minimum.
I think it's bizarre how much people hate this game mode.
Agreed.
Yeah, honestly, people hate on this
Considering,
game
you
way
know,
too much.
Like, I get
Most of the changes
there's
are
definitely
from
some
the
problems
community.
you can have with it, but I think it is hated almost just for fun at this point,
Yeah.
and I don't
It-
understand why.
There's only one thing I would probably argue a little bit against it, is that I feel like Red Team at most is a bit too overpowered. Like, that's something I'm gonna mention Mikusha a lot because his opinion sometimes actually also resonates with mine. like Red Team has just way too much power to always knock him away and stuff.
Ooh,
They should have just kept it kind of default.
Let's try and avoid any specific balance change discussion because this can go on for an hour.
Yeah.
But if we're
Hey
ever
guys,
doing
so
if we're
about the-
ever doing the
about the back
if we're ever
data-
doing the proverbial drunk episode, it's gonna be on fucking VSH balance. Okay.
I
will
only want to
say,
mention that.
As somebody who has contributed to that, I don't think that taking VSH seriously, like balance-wise, is ever a good thing to do.
Agreed.
Yeah, see, they're
Like,
like that's the main issue with the mode.
It's
and I think
intended to be shitposty and fun. There are dumb class-specific options because it's fun.
That shit
Granted,
even
sometimes that fun comes at the expense of the boss player, which I also think sucks, right? Like, Red shouldn't be able to knock this super powerful boss around like it's a ping pong ball. And I understand the criticisms that come from that and why people who play boss quite frequently would be frustrated. I think it's a balancing act that hasn't been hit yet because everybody's too busy arguing.
I think that's exactly it. I think we tried too hard to balance it, which this may or may not be a controversial opinion, but I think in any boss game mode, the boss should win more than 50% of the time.
Generally, yeah. Unless there's a massive skill imbalance.
Otherwise, what's the
boss
fucking
should
point?
Be winning.
You know, it's also gotten to a point where 42 just quit completely caring for the game mode or like making any changes now.
And like, I get that. I really honestly do. Because again, it kind of feels like most of the people who do it are just fucking doing it for fun at this point.
I made Scout Knight as a shitpost.
It's not
And
like
it was, like,
42 doesn't have shit
all over
ideas.
that.
He has shit ideas from time to time. We all
crazy.
have shit ideas from time to time, but I think people just like being an asshole to 42. Because
Yeah,
you
see,
know
so
what?
this
After we
is a
did,
lot
because you
of
know,
work.
after we did all that shit over the fucking backscatter, and we changed it, it's different, it's not the same, nobody fucking uses it anyways, you just wanted to complain!
I
say a hot take.
appreciate the work that 42 puts into his projects.
Mm-hmm.
I do respect the dedication, especially in the face of everything he has thrown at him, to keep maintaining it.
Yeah.
Accepting pull requests, things of that nature. Anyway,
Any mode that's gonna have consistent updates is eventually going to have a stinker eventually. It's just the natural law of the land. You can't get it right every time. I
Mhm.
think the main issue is, of course, people dispute how receptive things can be to getting fixed. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think we can all agree that if you play a VSH like it's meant to be, where it's just a brainless, click on the boss until he's dead, or go click on all the reds and enjoy running around at the speed of sound, it is quite fun. So does everyone agree that's how VSH should be viewed?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the people.
Yeah,
just-
generally.
I think honestly, most of the community as a whole just takes this game way too damn seriously.
Yeah, so
And I
like,
get
anyone,
how it happens that people take it seriously, it's like advanced challenge coin,
oh god.
from
And
Dodgeball. It's like you're fighting the whole server. I get it.
Yeah.
But I think boss should win most of the time, and I think a lot of the issue comes from trying to make red, balanced, make boss balanced. I think that's not really what needs to be focused. Focus needs to be on what items are fun and what items are not fun. And trying to make it fair is not really
fair does not
how a
equate to
boss
fun.
game mode should work.
I mean,
Fair
I'm
and
just gonna
fun can
randomly.
go hand in hand.
I'm gonna randomly throw it in, like VScript, VSH. I think that is like how VSH should have worked.
Everybody thinks that,
I
except,
feel like
except
that's
somebody
because-
apparently.
I have no problems with VScript VSH. I just think that like some of the abilities can be a bit unintuitive on here. They just feel a bit weird and clunky. But I do love the way they've built him to be like a much more durable tank, and he has movement traversal abilities to counteract knockback, for example. So, but yeah. Anyway, does anyone have any objections to VSH going below A first of all?
I don't.
Yes,
I would
Okay.
put it
yeah,
B,
very
I would put
strongly
it.
opposed to that.
Before we put VSH in S tier, I just want to say something.
Mhm.
The reason why people get so strung up about this game mode, I feel, is because of the sort of lingering whiplash of the rank system that we used to have for it. You remember?
I
Rank
do not.
15,
Yep.
that whole shit. And I feel
Oh
like it's
my God,
prevalent
yeah.
to say that that doesn't exist anymore. So you don't have to play the game like it does. If you're still trying to be like, look at me, I'm top of the leaderboard, and you're not focusing on the fun aspect, and you're not appreciating the work that's been put in, then like, leave.
I think badge
Honestly,
and
just
progress
leave.
resets need to be a more common punishment.
Because, like, you know, if people are playing this game mode, like, they're still getting ranked for this shit. Like, what? You gonna get fucking scouted for this or something? What? You gonna go to the finals? Like, fuck off, dude. You're chasing ghosts. Like, just play the
VSH
game
tournament would
normally.
go hard.
Holy shit.
Right,
Fucking
yeah,
VSH
annoying
16.
ass, whiny ass, fucking boo boo ass crying niggas. Fucking
You
pick
cannot
up
put
and enjoy
that
this
in the
game mode
video.
for what it is. Fun. It's fun. It's not a job. It's fun.
Quit having fun, the meme. Yes.
Anyway,
Speaking of quit having
Rant
fun,
over.
can we
Put it in
Anyways,
S tier.
so B
My-
tier, right? We all agree.
B tier? I don't know about that. I feel very strongly
no.
A.
June,
I
what
think
I said, I said, does anyone have any problems with it being below A? And you said no.
No, I said yes, I have a problem with it being below A.
Jolly does, but she can't explain why SCF to
No, I said June, actually. I said June, not you,
I
Johnny.
wanted to hear my voice. Fucking
No.
flatwad.
That's valid.
I feel like it's fine in B tier. I feel like it's perfect there, to be honest.
Think about
No.
how
Really?
important VSH is to Redsun, though.
It was one of the power 3 for the longest time that would get the server populated.
It still does sometimes
can't
when
deny
people
that.
shut
I
up
do.
and stop bitching.
Okay.
It's literally the meme. It's crazy how fun
This shit-
VSH is when you haven't got someone in your ear bitching about
This
it.
shit tastes so
True.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to play it without having somebody echoing balanced discussions at me the entire game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just the
want
A
it
tier.
in A, I think.
Oh.
could cut down on
Only A?
if we remove
I would like to put it in S, but I
Really?
don't
You would put
believe
it in
anyone
S
else
tier?
agrees that
I
strongly.
would put it in S tier if I had the option.
I would. I'm not
Removing
going
aside
to.
my own biases from actually having worked on it a bit, I still think it's an S or A tier game mode for sure.
I also just think about how important it is to TF2 as a whole. It was
That
like,
too.
you know, one of. Probably, it was not the first, but it was one of the first custom game modes. That's like, come on. It's
There's also
the
a version of
cornerstone.
it in the official game.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, actually,
been
player
here-
destruction was the first community game mode to get in.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but no one
Cactus
fucking cares about
is
that.
totally in the regular
I do. I
rotation.
think player destruction is like the best TF2 is.
Are you Asteroid's strongest soldier or are you Watergate's biggest fan?
I both.
Okay, put it in S or A and let's move on.
Media, money, mo. There we go. That's Roman.
Okay.
I'd
Fortress
argue.
Royale.
Focus Royale.
Fortress Royale. It's not in rotation
Okay,
anymore.
it's not in rotation unless we're counting Alex. For the sake of this discussion, we're talking about Miku Fortress Royale. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, because Alex's battle royale is very different.
I
Yeah,
like
this is
Alex Battle
basically
Royale,
completely
but it's
different.
not the same game.
It's less Fortress Royale and more just Risk of Rain. Actually,
It's squads. It's
Yeah.
Squad Showdown. That's what it's
Okay.
called. It's not Battle Royale. It's Squad Showdown.
I've already
I've
sung my
very
praises about this in the
strong
Miku episode.
opinion about Fortress
Yeah.
Royale that people who didn't watch my episodes fully will not be maybe prepared for. But I think Fortress Royale is one of the easiest S tiers on the server.
Sorry, did you say S or F?
S.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I think
I got actually confused. I was like,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. And I've talked about it a few times before, but I think it is purely the novelty of playing a battle royale where I know each one of the motherfuckers here. I think that is such an absurdly unique and fun experience that really just it's even among the other game modes, it's incredible in that format. Just having I know the other 39 people in this battle royale. I know the guy who walked over there. You know, like, and it's fun, it's unique, it's dramatic, but it's dramatic in a way that doesn't feel quite. At least in my experience, I don't feel like it was the same kind of, you know, drama and intrigue that comes with VSH and Midem, where it's like, you know, it's like a challenge. And it gets people angry and violent. I didn't feel that as much as Fortress Royale, outside of some instances, which I'll get to in a minute. It didn't feel like that, but it did feel dramatic and enticing, and I think that was fun. I like that a lot. And I think a lot of the intrigue just came from kind of our stance on teaming during the Gamemode's existence.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though.
Which-
Yeah,
That's
that,
what I
that
found
was a
interesting.
really big issue at the time.
Some
Okay.
people found it to be an issue, some people liked it. I'll give my take on it. I don't think it would have been nearly as good without the way it was, and I don't... It's weird because I can't critically argue for it. Like, there's not a critical argument I can make for keeping teaming the same if we ever had the game mode again in rotation. Because all the problems people obviously have with it are very, very valid. It's a very demeaning thing to go up against that. And sometimes it does kind of... The whole match would sometimes revolve around, like, hey, here's the class gang this round. Sometimes it's heavy or spy or something. And everything else is just kind of a bizarre gang war. Which, you know, Alex's version of Fortress Royale remedied that by making it intended. Like, you are in gangs. That's how it works, right? But I think there was something very unique about the fact that it was not forced, it just kind of happens. Sometimes. I think that's very fun. And especially that kind of uneasy energy of, like, the last, like, minute or two of the match when, you know, the team has won, everything's done, and there's just that kind of moment of, like, who's going to shoot first at their teammates, their friends that brought them along this far to win this game. And it's very dramatic. It's what I think, like, Hunger Games is about or something. I don't know. And I watch or
Oh
read
my
it,
god.
but
The game's comparison is hilarious.
I don't know. That's fine with it. I don't know.
That's
I don't know what they are, but you get what I'm saying. I think it's dramatic in a
Okay.
way that's fun, not in the way that VSH and Mid are.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Jolly, because to me, the reason why I don't disagree with you being in the place that it should be, S, is that Fortress Royale to me was the only Battle Royale game I've played that actually captured what Battle Royale was. And I already said this on the
Exactly.
Miku episode, but Battle Royale is not trios, squads, it's not Fortnite, it's not PUBG, it's not any of that. Battle Royale was literally, there can only be one person left and you get to leave. So the teaming aspect, as controversial as it may be, is like, yeah, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you team up? Because at the end of the day, you all have to kill each other anyways, and that's where most of the fun comes. It's from, like, how am I going to play out this game differently by either teaming or going alone or whatnot? And you have to actually play a goddamn Battle Royale to be the last one standing. It's so fun.
I love it. I really do.
I love it. I love it too. I think the execution worked. It translated well into TF2 with the way it was balanced. Miku was fairly receptive to changes, and, like, you know, for example, Medic, I think obviously went through some teething issues, but then the whole Medigun changes and what have you. So I think
Then
there's
the
no
bottle
reason it doesn't go
incident.
S.
The
I
science
think
team
the
incident.
crashes were a lot of fun.
The
I
bottle
still
incident
very
was
fondly
incredible.
remember when Spy was still being worked on, I suggested to Miku that you should see the player you're disguised as with, like, wall hacks as Spy, because he didn't have anything special at the time. Very interesting how class dynamics kind of broke down, because you'd think on any open map, Sniper wins by default, right? But there's so much going on, and the maps especially contribute to this as well. It was
Well,
so unique.
The thing is, I remember, I whenever I won, in Fortress Royale as sniper, the next round people would make it their mission to target me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it was so funny. It was like just no way the sniper wins. Next round, a pyro, a scout, and a spy walk into a bar, and a dead Australian comes out.
The dead Australian probably doesn't come out.
No, he doesn't actually. He comes out in like a body bag, but like,
Exactly.
that's what makes it fun. Like Fortress Royale, it can go any way it wants to because it literally is at the whim of the players as long as they don't break teaming rules to do it. So like,
Yeah.
I think we can agree. S, right?
As someone
Yeah,
who
Yes.
does
I have no-
with
I have
battle
no
royales, it's an S tier game mode for sure. Much as I dislike them, that's the one I'll play.
Maybe the twofer. How do we feel about PVM?
As long as it's not
Yeah.
Flowey, S tier.
Yeah.
all I say.
I think they all suck.
Oh,
What?
Okay.
Hey. That's
Explain yourself.
strong words. Can you back them up this time?
Considering on vetoing this too.
I feel like it cultivates a very tryhard energy that's different from, I'd say, VSH and Midem. It's more so the like, I don't know, the grind for getting max difficulty on whatever map or something. Flowey doesn't have that same issue, but Flowey has different issues. But just kind of broadly, it's kind of just obnoxious to
I mean,
play in that
I
kind
get
of
what
circle.
you mean,
With people
but
who
at
are
the
trying to
same time-
sweat so hard, even though you got this badge fucking like 7 years ago. What are you fucking here for?
Yeah,
The
I get what
50K
you mean, but it's more like cooperative competitiveness. You know, like
Yeah.
everybody's teaming up, and you know the boss doesn't have fucking feelings. So you know,
I'm
it
sorry,
doesn't really
Jolly, but that
matter.
is totally a player issue, not a map issue,
No,
and we're
I-
basing on maps.
I don't know. I think it's probably the game mode I see the second most death threats on.
That's
did
because
hear it.
people are taking it too seriously.
exactly.
It's a test of competitiveness and also cooperative. Like June said, it's if people feel like you are dragging down the entire team effort, it's Redsun, they're going to be vocal about it.
Yeah,
That's a
that's it.
people issue, not a game mode issue.
Yeah, I really don't think you could fault the game.
If
with
you
that.
played the game completely muted, just in a gameplay sense, I think PVM is still S tier.
Well, what's
except
the point
for Flowey.
of ranking
Flowey.
Redsun game modes if Redsun is not part of the equation?
Okay, you want Redsun to be a part of the equation? It's S tier based on the fact that it fucking saved the server when Flowey came out,
Yeah.
alright?
Okay,
This
yeah.
I hate to say it.
Like, actually, yeah, Flowey did.
I hate to. I really hate to
Wow.
say it due to what Flowey did,
Well,
but
I mean, Flowey brought me in.
yeah, exactly.
Is that the flowery map?
Is that
Yeah.
the Flowey map? Is like
the-
you know
yeah.
one of the code words to order your own
I
death,
probably wouldn't
but
fucking
like
be here right now if it wasn't for the,
Instant
the,
robot
the,
how many
That's
people
map.
wouldn't be here because of the Flowey map? You know, it's like it literally is a monumental thing where even now, if you get PVM randomly in a map vote, it's like holy shit, PVM.
Yes.
Because why wouldn't you? It's
If it
I
was
mean,
just
just the
Flowey,
concept.
I'd like it more.
like, all right, guys, we just stop playing prop hunt. It's time to go fucking beat Jevel's ass. Like, come on, dude.
It's
peak.
everybody cobbles together for the collective objective of winning. Everybody on the server, you know, it's not like the other game modes where you're at each other's throats trying to fight to be the best. It's a group thing that brings everyone together and says, okay, you've had your disagreements last map, now win, go.
One of the
Maybe,
things that
maybe I'm letting a
incentivizes
few bad experiences sour me.
one of the things that kind of incentivizes like the players to also play it is because of its high reward, but it's also it's really depending on the difficulty if the entire server can even manage it.
Yeah.
If you have chaotic people that cannot do it, then it's the loss of the people. If they didn't want to cooperate, their problems.
Also, I suck at it, so that probably contributes.
Okay.
True.
I don't see it being any other place than S tier.
I'll
Yeah,
take
it
it.
has- yeah.
I won't argue. Also, I swear eventually I'll get around to commissioning Carillion and Alex for another one.
Uh-huh.
So real.
Give me another
She was
Undertale
being,
slot boss. Come on.
See, that's why we need.
She
That's
was
why we
so
need.
real for asking for the Sans fight.
Yeah, that's why we need the new Deltarune chapter to come out. So.
True.
Alex can
Oh
make a
my
new boss
god.
of it.
Fucking I swear the whole community is having their fucking like Reddit Arkham Asylum fucking downward spiral. It's getting bad. It's like TF2 where they'll do the whole fucking like you saw the fucking I think the one that always comes to mind is what if this barrel was yellow? That post. The whole wider Undertale Deltarune community has been having that kind of spiral recently. Toby, please release chapter 3. We're dying.
I can't wait for chapter 3, 4, and 5 to come out at the same time, like
I
Toby
think- no,
said,
no,
so
it's
that we
just
can
3
go
and
pester
4.
Alex.
He changed his mind. He was doing just 3 and 4. Was I think that was about 2 newsletters ago. He made that decision.
Alex, queue up the bosses.
Alex.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Alex
Get on those
Carillion,
models.
I got about $600 sitting around if I can get a martlet. That's all I'm saying. Anywho.
I'm gonna be a mad pet on this. Alex Turtle is Toby Fox.
No way.
It's possible.
That's
just theory.
Chad, it's
A
possible.
vague
Cannot
theory.
believe this.
It's
Zammers.
possible. Alright.
Zama.
But yeah, if you
Love
two
you.
are listening, I got 600 on the table for a martlet. All I'm saying.
She hasn't paid me any of it.
I have not paid him. But that's because
Jamie needs to start getting paid.
he'll get paid.
I'm gonna
eventually.
start fucking sending invoices at this point. It's getting ridiculous.
I'll pay you, okay? I'll pay you for this episode, I promise.
Randomizer.
Alright, randomizer.
That thumbnail image is how I feel every time it comes up in map rotation.
Exactly. I
Sorry.
don't like it. I hate it.
It's another one of those game modes where coins just any kind of salvageability it has is ruined by coins.
I dislike it, but I don't dislike it strongly enough to put it in F.
I just like it enough
I
to put
do.
it in actual shit.
If you do...
V2.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Even
whoa,
with
whoa.
coins,
Whoa,
it's
whoa,
like,
actual
okay, I
shit
got
is, like,
a base
strong.
jumper, man treads, and like the disciplinary action. Okay, I guess I'll go fucking die. And then
Oh,
I get that for the next 3 rounds, and then nothing
Hey,
happens.
I thought you
and then
loved
the
the
RTB
disciplinary
anyway.
action.
Well, yeah, but not when it's my only
You know,
damn
when-
weapon.
You know, I
Isn't
think
it
there was a
so
certain
great when you
strange
have
part you
a-
were looking for on the
you know.
disciplinary action.
There was. I'm still looking for it. If you have any,
If you would like to
Oh,
tell
I
everybody
was,
what it
yeah.
was, Sui.
it's Demoman killed. And if you have one, let me know. I'm still looking.
It's the worst part is that if you get a loadout you really, really like, you can lose it through no fault of your own.
You can
because
kill
somebody
yourself,
activates a
and
coin
you can keep it.
that just
That's what I
says-
do.
No. Somebody can activate a coin that makes everyone have their same exact loadout. Goodbye to that scout life with a rocket launcher. You now have the same loadout as this shitter who has a fucking pain train as his only attacking weapon. Ah,
Yeah, I can't critically advocate for randomizer, but I don't hate it as much as you guys do. But you guys
It's-
seem very.
Yeah, I really feel like it's not that bad. Like
It's
I don't really like it.
temperamental.
It's below C at least. I understand that.
I've had more bad experiences with it than good.
That's fair.
I've only had bad experiences with it.
Like, for every single life where I'm a scout with a fucking direct hit deleting people instantly, I'm the pain train guy.
I'm
like,
heavy
20
with like
times.
fucking
how do we feel tier-wise?
Alibaba's
though?
wee booties. I'm not wasting my veto on it, but I
DF or
do feel like
shit?
it should be
What?
below C.
Oh, it's
It-
below
it-
I'd
C.
say C tier.
Not better than Hero Fortress at all.
That's always the
Wow,
marker
we-
is hero.
okay.
I'd argue it's not better than
Okay.
Bomber Mod.
Yeah, I'd really like to see it in F, but if people won't budge,
It's
I can
that low for
compromise
me.
on a D tier.
I mean, I'm having difficulty placing it because I don't like mystery map being that low to begin with. But
Yeah,
like,
me
at the
neither.
same time, I'd like it above.
Mystery map is just a band-aid we're gonna have to rip off. You know,
Yeah, I'd
Forge
like it
accepted
above Huntsman. I'd like it above Huntsman Hell or Stop That Spy Crab at the minimum.
Yeah, like I don't feel like it's worse than Hero Fortress. Like, come on, really?
I
It's
do.
worse than Hero Fortress. It,
It
really, is.
is.
It's worse than Gun Game.
It is
Yeah,
worse
it's
than
way
Gun
worse
Game.
than Gun Game, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
thank you, 42, for giving us randomizer. The only good thing about randomizer is the cosmetics randomizer.
I would put
Only
it
thing I
to the
like.
right of Hero Fortress, Jolly. Yeah.
Maybe a couple more to the right. Yeah, you know.
we might come back. We'll come back to this one.
If you know, what, maybe just like go down a couple, and yeah.
We'll come back. We'll come back to randomizer. We'll come back to randomizer later. How do you
SCP.
feel about SCP? Here is a hot take. I really like SCP.
I'm gonna let everyone else go first before I give my opinion.
This is gonna be Sui's veto. I can feel it.
Yeah, I can. It's going straight
He's
to the actual
winding
hit.
up.
Go on.
Go ahead.
George, you wanna go first?
Sure. I think it's in the same camp as VSH, wherein if you're playing the game too seriously, you won't have any fun. You have to kind of make your own fun out of it. If you're just focusing on winning, you won't enjoy it. Even in Secret Lab, from what it's based on, it's inherently an RP thing. If you only focus on the objective, you're not going to have a good time. And I feel like too many people look at it through that lens. If people, fucked about a bit more, they might enjoy it.
I think the fatal flaw with SCP, because like I've also played Secret Lab a lot. I have like 400. I used to have like 400 hours in that game.
I've only got,
I think the major
30.
problem is that nobody in Redsun fucking interacts with each other when playing this mode.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it would be way more better if people like actually like communicated with each other and like interacted.
It's because everyone's a mute.
But yeah, like everyone is mute, is like focused on just speed running the fucking escape tunnel like as fast as possible, and it's just not fun.
It's like,
in my opinion.
I've had rounds where I've been a dog just following a guard around as the guard's been pointing out D class to execute.
You did that to me, you motherfucker!
Yeah, I did. Being a guard dog is really fun in SCP. It's great. I mean, you have to kill all the scientists as well, but
I really wish there was more ways for SCP and everybody else to communicate so that funny shit could happen.
The temporary alliances that you form in SCP, and also the meme moments, how clippable SCP as a game mode is.
Oh god, I have so many good SCP clips.
There's so many good SCP clips. Like, Feikul on Abandoned, right outside the upgrade machine, like, swiping his keycard on the door, and he turns around to see every SCP behind him, and you just hear the cut off. No! It's brilliant.
God. The one that always comes to mind is my juke on an elevator to get out of being chained up by a guard. It was peak. And also firing down a hallway and killing Freed Class D as an MTF. Fuck karma. Fuck that shit. That's stupid. I should be allowed to kill Class D.
It's always fun, like, bullying the SCP if you're, like, a Class D or a scientist, like, oh, hey, look, there's an elevator. Oops,
Which is another reason I think the game would be vastly improved if SCP and players could talk to each other.
I do feel like it's the community's attitude to the game mode that makes it as much of a stickler as it is.
I agree with that.
Cert, June, you guys got anything to add?
I think it's.
I have a lot of thoughts.
I've already said my piece. I don't think it's like awful, but at the same time, I just don't really have too much fun while playing it.
So, I think that SCP, which is obviously based on Secret Laboratory, 90% of the maps are very unfaithful and a poor representation of it, and I think that makes it boring. In Secret Laboratory, you've got a grace period
You
of,
say
I'd say,
laboratory again, I'm gonna lobotomize you. Continue.
Hate to say it, but you're late to the party on that one.
Be true
Anyway.
to your roots.
You get a grace period of about 3 minutes, maybe more, with the SCPs, just because of, like, scale of map compared to movement that SCPs have. Whereas in SCP on our servers, you can genuinely die to an SCP in less than 2 minutes, just because spawning logic of some of the SCPs on some of the maps is, there's no other word for it, shit. And I literally cannot think of a more boring experience on some of the game modes than booting up SCP, getting D-Class, getting a card, and dying in less than 2 minutes because of bad RNG compared to where the SCP spawned compared to where I did. And that isn't a problem. If this was a problem for just like one map, then I'd be like, I can overlook it. It's a problem for the majority of them, so I can't. So I think, yes, we already have the issue with the community kind of taking it a bit too seriously, but I think the maps also ruin it. So I'm not gonna lie, I think it's C tier at most.
Interesting.
I agree with that
I
consensus.
don't disagree that it's a game mode with a lot of like
The maps
actual
are
problems.
a major problem.
But
What I will say in defense of the mappers is that making an SCP map is fucking hard. Given
you have
the
personal experience, don't you?
yes, SCP jungle and rebake. You have to think about so many moving parts at once as a mapper for SCP, on top of the scale of a map as well, because if the map's too small, the rounds end in 5 seconds. Yeah, it's a design challenge. I don't disagree with you, though, that it is a map issue.
I wish there were more ways to get your level 3 in like containment than doing the machine. Like sometimes you'll find one. You'll find a level 3 just sitting around. It's very rare, but I have seen it happen before. But
Intentionally on rebake, you can escape without ever going to the upgrade room. There is a path that lets you escape the facility.
Wait a minute, you're just promoting your map.
I'm just saying, I made that design decision on purpose because I knew people were having trouble.
Yeah, I feel like it's at its weakest when the entire game is revolving around the upgrade room.
Also, the game ending statistics are kind of bad. The fact that if even one survivor escapes, like one D-class, one scientist leaves, SCPs lose on the spot, is kind of sucky.
I think
Yeah,
D-class is fine.
As soon as you know that first escapee is gone, as an SCP you've already lost, you have no incentive to play anymore.
Yeah, and it's weird too because
no
Secret Lab changed the winning conditions for like all the teams basically like a long time ago. I still don't know why we have those same like old win conditions.
What is the win condition? Because I don't play Secret Lab because I hate it.
It's weird. It's like an entire like flow chart basically on who wins. But basically as SCP you could still win even if a scientist or a D-boy escapes. And yeah, that's pretty much like the gist of it. There's other changes too, but that is a whole nother thing. I'm not gonna go over that.
I'll try not to go on my whole Secret Lab rant because that's not really related to this, but I have very personal opinions on it. The kill Gmod breach.
A very, very vocal disdain for how Secret Lab is being run now, but I don't want to get into that.
I just hate it for killing Gmod breach. That's all.
Really,
it hurts.
You ready, Sui?
A lot. Sui, please be careful.
Oh, Gabriel.
Insert organ noises.
You were insignificant.
SCP? How do I feel? How do I really feel about SCP?
I'm prepared for a Joker arc, and then it's just gonna be, it's okay, I guess.
You know what? Honestly, I like SCP. Veto it into actual shit.
Yeah. I figured this was where your veto was coming in.
What do you mean by it, Sui?
Please elaborate, Mr. Suisoldier.
Let me fucking put this back up. Hold on. What do you mean by that?
I'll elaborate when I see it.
No, you won't. You'll do it now.
Well, it doesn't matter because I already freebied, but
no, listen. This is gonna be really bad look for us.
You're the veto rule. You're putting it in there.
You're supposed to use the veto for funny things. We can't put SCP here.
Listen, I thought SCP was bad enough as a regular ass player. After becoming a mod, you motherfuckers need fucking help.
Okay, I did.
Yeah.
You fuckers need help. On
think of-
God.
I didn't.
I'm
figure
not
out
even
why
being fucking funny. You people need actual fucking psychiatrists. What the hell is all wrong with you? The amount of shit I get on a daily basis that's all related to SCP, all the whining, oh, this or that. Like, shut the fuck up, dude, and just play the goddamn game. Oh my god. The amount of bad experiences I've had with this game mode is outstanding to think about anything else compared to all the other game modes here. I fail to think of any other game mode that has made me dread playing TF2 more than SCP. Which sounds like a really bad thing, I know, but trust me, it is warranted.
See, because
and
your
compounded.
opinions are not consistent.
Of course they're not. It is
You're-
100%
okay,
biased. I'm not afraid to say it.
'cause
It's
for
biased for a
Dodgeball and
reason.
VSH,
You
we go
people
with
need
the-
help.
Okay, hold on. With Dodgeball and VSH, you've gone with the perspective of, like, separate it from the server, right? Ooh, how's it is in its pure form or whatever. But this is entirely Redsun. You're entirely Redsun motivated.
Exactly.
Okay.
This game
what other
can
servers
exist
run
on Redsun.
SCP? What other servers run SCP, Jolly?
Okay, that's not the point.
No, it kind of is.
This is the point.
No.
SCP as it stands cannot exist on Redsun.
Then where does
people
it
like
go,
Redsun play
motherfucker?
it.
Where does it go?
To actual trash, okay? That's where it goes. And the part is that it probably won't be fixed because of the 64 update. And you know what? I think that's just fucking peachy.
Sui, I regret to inform you that it's already being updated. I'm sorry.
Whatever. My point still stands. No.
This is
Put it back up
compromise
there.
of God.
Vetoed.
This is
Jolly,
compromise of
Jolly,
You're just
Jolly,
compromising. You're breaking your own rules. Put it back up there.
Jolly, come on. You can't.
Alright, that's enough, low tier soldier.
I'll do it again.
I do have to agree from a mod perspective, though. I haven't had to deal with it nearly as much as Sui has, but every time I see it come up in the vote, I do roll my eyes.
Because you people probably weren't there. I was when 42 banned that guy, and that started the whole goddamn debate about
that-
RP versus SCP.
that was Juice.
Which in and itself is another
think.
hour-long discussion that I will not get into because I will literally kill people.
It's interesting that
Whatever.
Forged over here was saying that he understands the issue, even though I think about 10 minutes ago he's talking about how he did the guard dog. Something's not lining up there.
That's
is all
an
I'm
issue. That's playing SCP correctly as a dog who can speak and understand humans. I'm talking about people that play Peanut and Shy Guy and deliberately target people and have to get reported to admins and staff.
saying.
It's,
To name one instance.
because it's the only server that really runs SCP with an active player base, the two things are conjoined at the hip, whether you like it or not.
I'll start blue.
I
I'll
cannot
start
disagree in
bluemoon.tf,
confidence.
fucker. I'll start bluemoon.tf.
If you want to do that, go ahead.
That's
You're
what
not
it's-
paying Jamie, so you
Alright.
have the money for servers.
Oh, Jamie.
Alright, I concede you can keep it
Get
in actual
Jamie's
shit.
paycheck.
I will accept your, reading.
Know that that's no shade to Batfox or any of the other game mode / map creators for SCP. No shade to any of you guys. People just can't behave with the tools you've given them. That is all.
Alright.
At least
Smash
I'd like
Fortress.
To think that's the case. Smash
I will accept
Fortress.
Smash Fortress. I love Smash Fortress.
I like Smash Fortress. It's fun.
There's things I'd
It-
change, but I think
okay.
it's broadly pretty
I feel
good.
like Smash Fortress has like minor problems, like for example, Pyro having infinite ammo with Dragon Fury constantly annoying or so, or Heavy.
I think it
but
also has some kind of
that's
poopy
okay.
maps. To be
It's
honest.
like a high D, low C. if
Whoa,
only for
whoa! Let's not go that
D?
low. Let's
Game.
not.
High D, low C, not B.
Let's not go
Oh.
D. No, I think B is a perfectly
Oh.
wonderful place.
What?
I would
What?
agree. I would
What?
agree if not A.
Oh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, hold on.
I
What we
love
have here is a
Smash Fortress.
failure to communicate. Who is saying we should put it in D, as in dog?
Say I if
I
that's
think
true.
dog. I absolutely think it's dog.
All right.
You can't do this to me.
I can, and I just did.
It's looking like a 4-2, Sui.
I was gonna put it in
Unless
at
June's
least
ready
like
to pipe
B.
up.
I vote for B.
Look,
Wait,
if
we're
everyone else
D
likes
tier?
it and I don't, that's fine.
That is crazy. On the same tier as like Hero Fortress Gun, really?
Like seriously.
You saying
Nah.
Smash Fortress
think-
is on the same thing as fucking like randomizer?
You
That's
think-
crazy.
Smash Fortress is worse.
Okay, I mean, I think randomizer
Then
should
prop
be
hunt.
in like F tier, but
minimum
here we are.
C tier.
You know.
No. Smash Fortress. It has to be like at least B tier. Like honestly.
I just want to be able to fly again.
C. That's it.
I do feel like it needs some tweaks to
I
the map
can't
pool,
go
maybe,
higher
because
than
some are
S2.
too big or too small. But
Did anyone else do that in Smash Fortress?
do what?
With the
Fly?
Commando and the base jumper, or as
No, the Boston
Really?
Basher.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite fun.
Oh, I love turning into an airplane. Come on, it needs to be at least a B or a C.
did things like that, but I just have fun with Smash. Period. I think the mode's strong. I love the ledge jump edition that got added
I
to
think- It's very
Save
fun
yourself.
to play a
I just
Smash
don't-
type game with source physics. I think it's
Yeah.
very, very intuitive. It's probably more intuitive than the game it originated from, honestly. It feels very good to play something so momentum and trajectory like based with source physics. It feels good. And I think
just
there's something
really
special
don't
about
enjoy
it.
the
I'd play a full game of Smash Fortress if it was a real game or something. I'd buy that.
Like,
I have
I
wonderful
get
news for you,
behind,
Charlie.
What?
You want to play Smash if it was a real game? Boy, do I have a game for you.
No, not Smash Brothers. I mean like a real one. Smash Fortress.
like a real one. So what? 64 melee brawl.
I don't know. I can just play.
full,
I don't know.
pick
I'll
one.
just play fucking Rivals of Ether or something with TF2 mods.
I just don't like the gameplay loop of Smash Fortress. That's a me thing. I get that I'm on the unpopular side of the fence here. But
Jolly,
that's-
quick thing. I
Just
think
how I
there's
see it.
somebody who's making currently like source game stuff into a Smash thing.
Oh,
Like from Half-Life, from TF2, Left 4 Dead.
that's
and
cool. I'm using my veto to put in A.
I was gonna say
Still
I
go for that. I was about to use it too, to be honest.
No. You can use yours. You can use yours. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can use yours.
No, you already used it.
No, you already
You already used it.
No, take
I
back.
don't think it's.
already
I
done.
don't think it's S. I don't think it's S. But
mean,
I do
no.
think it is
It's
very
not, yeah.
cool. And
I
I
like
rarely
that
have a bad
placement.
time with it.
Yeah, same. I like that placement a lot. I think it's just stupid, but in a good way. And it's like, you're playing Smash in a way, but with people that you know. And I think it's a faithful addition.
Seriously, riddle with me for a moment. Do you think it's worse than Glass Attack?
No.
Hell,
No.
No.
So what's with it in D tier?
It's just I don't like the gameplay loop. Some of the maps feel too big, and I can go entire rounds of it feeling like I did.
But do you think it's worse than Death
nothing.
Run?
Honestly, depends on the map.
I feel like Death Run is just such a huge outlier specifically because of maps.
Or it's just bad he kept like Ganondorf.
I really like Death Run, but that's because I played on a Death Run server before I played on Redsun, so I have history and biases.
That's my veto. I'm sorry to whip it out so nonchalantly, but that's my true
no,
opinion.
I mean,
regarding the big map
That's
thing, by the
fine.
way, that argument can kind of be like from Bomber mod as well, because like
No,
Bomber
Yeah.
mod
no,
is
no, you're
normally
not. You're
top-
not winning this. You're not.
Be quiet for a sec, jeez. what I'm trying to say is like, you know
Silence,
how Bomber mod
host.
is like top fucking shooter thing? Smash is meant to be like sideways as well, and like, of course the maps are gonna be kind of big again than in first-person shooter style.
it's too big.
Alright,
Just again, personal tastes.
I've heard you
I
out.
get. I'm on the unpopular side of this here.
I
Alright.
respect your decision.
So, anyway, stop that tank. Why is it split into two?
Because
Because I don't know. There's
it
regular
wasn't-
and then there's
Tank race, right?
when
I
this was
forgot that's
made.
not a thing anymore. They got
Yeah.
merged.
yeah,
Yeah, they
I'd be fine if every stop that tank race map was removed.
Okay, that's a bit egregious. I kind of like Stop That Tank.
No.
Stop the
I
Tank
love
is
Stop
easier,
the Tank.
mine.
I think Stop the Tank is one of my favorite game modes on the server.
Oh, you mean the maps?
I mean tank race specifically.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I like payload race more than payload. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
Oh.
I do normally, but
Like,
in
I
this
have
case,
very fond memories of playing on payload race maps.
I think Banana Bay is
Not
my
so much
favorite
payload.
stock map.
Fair
Like,
enough.
In terms of Stop That Tank, I think it's noticeably worse.
It really does stalemate, but that is a map thing more often than not, and also a which team gets the better giant. Because you can fight as hard as you like, but if you're a fucking super scout against like what?
Sir Nukes a lot.
Yeah, Sir Nukes a lot. What are you gonna do?
But at the same time, you really don't get Sir Nukes a lot, I feel. It's like, sometimes you just kind of get, like, giant shotgun soldier, and it's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, put it like this is a really good way to put it. A lot of the modes on this tier list get affected a lot by variability in, like, you know, how it goes. Like, for example, you know, special rounds in Smash, gun game, what map you get on mystery map, depending if it's good or not. Gun game, special rounds, like I said. Does the variability in Stop That Tank impact it all that much? Like, do giants make or break the mode?
In tank
Yes.
race, yes. In regular, not really.
Well, there you go then. I think that's what you have to consider. Like, if you enjoy Stop That Tank regular and you don't think that the giants impact that much, it probably goes fairly high up. But in tank race, I
Yeah.
agree with you. It probably hinders it quite a lot.
I'd put tank race on like a bad day in high D, low C, and then regular in B or A.
I like
I
Stop That
don't
Tank a
mean
lot.
like
I think it suffers
know-
from a bad map pool because a lot of maps are just not made for tanks or giants.
forcing a tank through a space for a payload can only create design problems.
It's another one where it makes me actively want the map for the server just so I can make maps for the game but doesn't suck ass.
Yeah,
Because I guarantee you the majority of Stop That Tank maps have not actually been tested before they were thrown in.
I kind of have a little plus for the regular version of Stop the Tank. Like when you when you have a tank, the giant spawns after that, which is quite a nice addition to it. But at the same time, when the giant is down, the robots can think of strategies of like approaching the several capture points even further until the end, which is kind of nice because you can get very creative with that.
I get that. I do think it's very fun though, just the regular version of it. I would definitely prefer a version of it that had instead of just one giant and one tank. I think maybe it'd work better if it was, you know, obviously have the tank, but then maybe like two weaker giants instead of one all or nothing giant. Because I think just the one last all or nothing giant it leads to some very unfortunate situations sometimes.
And the giant only suffers from the problems that the robots sometimes don't even go medic or so, or the robot themselves are just going in solo.
Also, if we could remove every like last capture point map with like an open pit at the end, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. That bothers me.
I don't know if it works with plugins,
Yeah.
but can you not like put barriers in it in a way with plugins?
It would be too much work to curate for the entire map pool, I think, even if you were to do that. And it's how do you convey that to the players as well?
It's weird because I don't think Pyro should be unable to air blast giants. Obviously, like that would be weird, but
If they're
But
deploying
really,
the
when
bomb
it's
on
right
the
next
last
to the
point,
pit,
you
it's
should not
fucked
be
up.
able to air blast them. That would be my solution.
huh?
Would not be bad.
If you were deploying the bomb on the last point, you shouldn't be able to be air blasted. That
I think
would be my
that's
solution.
fine, just not when it's over a pit.
Yeah.
I think it's fine if you air blast is fine, otherwise unless it's one of those things. But yeah, I mean, let's get some letters down. How do we feel about just regular?
B.
I like B.
He's fine.
Gun B.
Yeah, I would say B.
I feel about regular.
my
I feel like it's a whole.
In my
tier
personal
less.
preference, regular and tank race would be on S, but I am talking for everyone, so
Ooh.
I could put.
I mean,
tank
you
race-
got a
I could put-
veto
I could
going, buddy.
put-
You have a veto going.
I'm fine with it. But
I could put tank race in D. Honestly, just how stalemate it is.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
it's
not vetoing.
noticeably worse.
Yeah.
tank race, like D. I'd be comfortable with that.
Yeah, somewhere around there, really.
As cool of a concept as it is, having two giants fighting each other for map progress, it boils down to just who gets the better
It
giant.
really, like I said, it really would not mind if it was just gone.
Yeah.
I'd pissed it if it was gone, but at the same time, I can understand why you come to that opinion.
Banana Bay, such an annoying map for tank race.
Yeah.
Man in the Machine.
Not sure I can talk about this.
Yes, you can.
I
Okay,
like
I'll
playing
lead.
as
I'll
a
lead
red, and like
strongly
playing as a robot.
with my truth. I'll lead strongly with my truth. I think it is Mikushi's biggest instance of trying something just to see if it fucking works and not considering if it was a good idea.
It's a playground.
Because I think it is a really bad idea. Baseline.
I think the
It's
idea
inventive.
itself
It's cool.
is-
I love that it exists. I do not like playing it.
I have fun playing it. I think it can also be another generator of some hilarious moments. Like, for example, oh, nice, the wave is 99% complete. There's 6 defenders turning around to see the mewing Super Scout about to jump in the hole.
Don't ever fucking
Yeah.
say mewing.
Yeah.
I had to, I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, I stand with Jolly on this one.
I
Look,
like it.
it's
Honestly,
cool.
I think it just has the same issue as VSH, where people would take it way too damn seriously.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's a worse
Well,
Super
I-
Zombie Fortress in every way.
I'm gonna be honest, the last 3 times I've managed to make it into a map as defender on Mism, I've had people literally talk about my elo because they know I'm not that good. And they're like, oh, look at this elo compared to the
I
last
literally
one.
see that. I
Shut
literally see
the
that every fucking time.
fuck up.
It is-
Oh my god.
Oh my god, outside of rank 15 type bullshit that we see as a joke, it is the only
God.
serious implication I see of that
Like,
shit.
I'm so sorry that my
It's
skill
fucking-
level does not match to yours, but I am not you, and therefore my experience is different to you. Chill
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
out.
That's by the way. That's one of the reasons
Look,
why
I've called people
why
death
dislike-
threats before for playing
Oh
Spy.
my God.
I get that. Like, but yeah, go on, buddy, go about.
That is one of the reasons why I even dislike the group thing. Even if there were like randoms or something joining in, they'll just judge the random people that are not like experienced or so whatsoever, and you cannot have fun then. Like, of course, you have to play with randoms to get different experiences, but it's just having constantly a group bashing on somebody else. And let's be honest, there was pretty much one group constantly over and over. Oh my god!
I think
it's
groups ruin the
tedious.
game mode.
No
Okay.
fun allowed.
I don't. It's really weird because it's like, on one hand, the fact that this exists at all, like Jolly said, like this is a technical fucking marvel of a game mode, right? And
Agreed.
Mikush should be rightfully very, very proud of the work that he's done. And like, yeah, this on paper is really, really fucking cool.
Agreed.
So like, all of the praise to
In
Mikush.
fact, in multiplayer with a full server.
Yeah. Trying to, however, fit a PvE mode and repackage it as PvP, especially for a server like Redsun, it's just kind of the equivalent of like opening Pandora's box.
Mhm.
Like, you get the hope with like, this is actually really kind of a cool idea and concept, but the unfortunate truth is the practice is, well, you know, people yelling at Sir because of his fucking elo, which, like, again, it's like, grow the fuck up. Like, genuinely, like, grow the fuck up. Go outside. Jesus Christ.
Well, we have touch
because
grass
maybe
right
time
here.
constraints- I'm gonna say this.
Actual shit, Gerald.
Like based on tech, based on the concept of the mode, the fact that it functions so well and that doesn't really run into bugs that often, I'd want to put Mitim somewhere like hell, maybe bottom of S, maybe A. Because of the way that Redsun plays it, I cannot put it like above. I think dodgeball. Like, I think I would put it around mid B.
Yeah, mid B, for sure. I've resigned myself to just playing as a bot because I don't want to deal with people's shit when I'm on red.
Honestly,
I cannot be fucked. I
it's
have more
it's
fun
bad
playing
enough.
as a robot.
Yeah,
I feel more happier
Putting
playing
out
with
those,
randoms on red.
clutch moments as a robot where you secure the win for your team, not as a giant, but as a dinky freaking shotgun soldier, feels good. It also feels good to win on red because it's a monumental, you've been fighting for however many waves. It is just the people that bring it down. If you're queued with people on your team who are, you're comfortable with, you can do what you like, you can have fun. But playing with assholes who gatekeep shit just makes it so much less enjoyable, and that's 99% of the red experience.
I think, honestly, a lot of the reason we see that sort of thing is the titles. It's
Badges,
literally a
like,
fucking strange counter,
it's
dude.
yeah, it's more like
dude,
leader.
it's
leaderboards
literally a
and, like,
fucking
that
strange
stuff.
counter. Come on. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it's fine to have maybe a title for like one clear or whatever, but fuck you. Fuck you. That literally,
So-
I think it's stupid.
Are we gonna agree then? Mid B?
Mid B,
Mid B.
yeah.
I wish
That's
I'd
the
saved
highest
my
I can
veto
put
to
it.
put it lower.
I have no disagreements.
I hate it.
I feel like B is fine.
Alright, mid B then.
I'll put it
Mhm.
B. According to the will of the people.
it's just one of those things where it's like every time it gets voted, I disconnect, honestly. But
I
like
really do.
that's no fault of the mode. I'd put it in A. It's just the people. I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's
if
like
we
when
can't separate
when I,
SCP from Redsun, we can't separate Midem.
yeah, when I see it get
Unfortunately.
voted, I get excited, but then the excitement wears off once I see people start playing it in the way they play it. But oh well, we can move on from it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the fact that combat, surf, arena, and course are separated. There's
No,
like-
what's up with that? Come on now.
Combat
Yeah,
No,
I-
just should have
let
it
me
both,
let me
stupid.
explain to you in one sentence why it's redundant. The whole point of combat surf is that the course has an arena to fight in at the end. If you want to separate the two, just go and play skill surf, where there is no arena in the first place, and any failure immediately resets you back to the start. I think that for this one, wherever we put the course one, we just put the arena one alongside it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
believe in
reason to
that.
separate it.
I feel like this one could be kind of quick though, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
I have
feeling
bias
indifferent in
because
C.
I
Yeah.
think
I suck
I'd
at
probably
stuff,
put it higher.
but
I have
I
bias,
respect.
but yeah, I have
Quick
bias because
argument?
Crew's been teaching me combat surf, but I'd probably put it in like B or A. I really enjoy surf.
It's fun to go fast. When you're good at it, you feel happy to
Yeah.
perform it. But the skill curve to getting there is really difficult.
I think by far and away this is the most subjective one on the list. Like,
Yeah.
it is.
it has such a high barrier to entry that if you don't like surf because you're not good at it, that's completely valid. It's just not for some people. So
But it's not valid for dodge.
I'm not even good at surf, and I still like it, to be honest.
I suck at
it's
surf.
just
I
relaxing.
still enjoy tier 1 courses like Utopia and
Yeah.
Twilight. I can still enjoy the basic courses and just have fun going fast.
Mm.
Honestly.
yeah, I am going. Well, I don't want to. I think I'd probably put it like. I said A, but now thinking about it, I think I'd put it in B again.
Like,
If only
kind of
because of the
strong.
barrier to entry, B or C. If only because of that entry barrier.
That's how I'm feeling too.
I feel
I
kind of
don't
C,
hate it.
but
I
I
don't
can be
think
argued
it's
up to
bad.
B.
If it has its own server, there's got to be some validity to it, right?
True.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen for no reason.
Exactly. Yes. So
What,
yeah,
B or
nice.
A?
Okay. As much as I love it, and as much as I'm still getting taught by Screw, I'm just gonna say B because like
B,
it's
I'll
it's
give it
it's still a niche. It's still a
Yeah.
niche, and it is personal preference.
Last two are interesting. Team battles.
I like
Oh,
team battles.
I like team battles.
It's
Okay,
map.
listen.
It's map dependent.
It's map
but I do
dependent.
like it.
There's like 2 maps in the whole of team battles that bring it down. It's like, the fucking team trial shit.
Swag
Like,
and
just,
team
just
trial.
look past that for a second, okay?
Team
We
trial
have
swag is the
TF2
goat.
party. We have My World, another Flowey. Like, come on.
Come on.
Team trials being in team battles feels like it's only because team is in the name.
They are outliers.
Am I insane for kind of liking team trials?
Yes.
Bro,
I
I don't,
do
I,
not
I don't, I
diss
don't
Team
mind
Trials
Team
Slag.
Trials.
Team
I don't
Trials
mind
Slag
it.
is goat.
I enjoy the rapid pace of it, and it's again that PVM itch of cooperating
Yeah.
to win with a larger group of people instead of the more 1v1, I must be the best out of everyone arena modes that we have a lot of.
Also, just a little bit more of that slag bias coming in because of Team Trial Slag. When we used to play that in the old day without the Redsun stigma, and people actually cooperated with each other and were encouraging, it was like fucking crack cocaine, the amount of dopamine.
Yeah.
I remember
I just
Miku
want to throw
banning a
random
guy
in
for a week for
pipe
it.
ball.
Oh, pipe ball.
I don't like pipe ball,
The
man.
free maps. I'm
Bro, we
putting
all
an
love
F
pipe
for
ball.
pipe ball.
I'm not afraid to say it. I am the #1 pipe ball. Okay, I'm not the #1 pipe ball hater, but
No,
if there
you
is a
can't
pipe
hate
ball
pipe
hater
ball,
on Left on Earth,
only
I am
destroy
him.
it.
I
I
think-
believe it's A or B tier, just based on map variance.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, true.
Agreed.
It's like the opposite of Death Run, where it goes down based on a bad map. It goes up based on a good map.
Mm,
But the average floor of a team battles map is usually pretty good.
and
I agree.
the only way we can truly end it off is with, of course, stock classic.
Are you
Yes.
gonna bring up event maps?
I need you to do something now.
Insta Vito saying S tier.
Yeah.
I
Stock is
could.
always the best.
But
I'll be
let me
honest.
hear your guys' opinions first. Let me hear your what
Yes.
you guys
I
say.
like playing
I
TF2.
like it.
I like
I like
TF2 in my
playing
TF2.
It's
Okay, I'm not
the
even gonna have to
only
veto
thing
this
I
if I
hate-
do anything.
The only thing I hate and loathe with a fucking passion is that the reserve shooter can suck a dick on Pyro. Fuck that weapon.
Look,
It's
that-
actually cringe.
It's so weirdly specific,
half the
but I
people
kind
who
of
only just
understand.
use Ulpul
Have
Caber
Sandman's
though.
full stun back. Can we have the full Sandman stun back?
True.
If you're allowing reserve shooter to do bullshit, give the Sandman its full stun.
True.
That's what I'll say.
But come on, it's TF2. If you don't
Overall,
like TF2, what the
I
fuck are you
really
doing here?
like it. There are just a few stinkers. Like, bring back old Caber, God bless. It's fucking great. I just
Even-
really hate the reserve shooter.
Even Bison
I
is
really
viable.
hate it. It's
The
not enough
old Bison.
to go down for me, but it sucks.
I love old Bison.
But yeah, I mean, come on, easy S.
Yeah, stock
Easy.
classic.
Yeah.
Easiest in the universe.
S for stock
sure.
classic,
I
baby.
don't even need to veto this.
Bruh.
I'm just gonna ignore the event map Okado fucking touching grass. We're just
Like,
gonna leave
Event
those
Map
there.
Ogado fuck. Event Map Ogado fuck. Let's talk about it. What does it mean?
I think it's talking about event maps in general because
Yeah, like
whoever
the
made this
event
tier
map
list
category.
doesn't like event maps.
Can we dox their
Okay.
name? Made it.
Don't click it without
Don't do
seeing
that.
the fucking list. Don't do that.
We'll cut him out. We'll cut him out.
No, I'm gonna have to fucking blur it now.
Thanks, Jamie. Now you really need to pay Jamie. Jesus Christ.
Yep, that's another added to the total.
Another $10.
I
Send
think
me an
event
invoice
maps
after
are
this episode,
good, but
or after
also
you get
really
home
bad.
from your
I'm not
store.
gonna put on.
Oh
But
man.
touching grass, I had to mow the grass last week, and I still have itching all over my skin. Fuck touching grass.
Okay, can I use
I
my
should
veto touching grass in S tier, please?
Damn
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
I
we're not
still haven't
putting
used my veto
touching
yet.
grass on the list.
Put touching
Event-
grass
event
on the
map,
list,
though.
you coward.
We're
Put
not
it on
Touching
the
grass
list.
on the list. Going outside is important.
Okay, fucking going
heard
outside
it.
is S.
Red Sun tier list? Come on now.
Come on.
If event map is the only thing unranked, that just feels wrong.
But
Can we just
there's
put it
fucking two
somewhere?
other event maps.
I like event maps.
Put it,
It means
somewhere.
nothing. We have other event. Is there not other?
Just
event-
put it in C. Oh my
Put it in
goodness.
C. It's a mid thing.
Oh, there.
Just
Ah,
have all of
We're
them
done.
done. There.
Ah.
Good.
Yay, we are done!
How do we feel about
We
this?
hit
Yes.
the
list?
succeeded gap.
I'm
I hate
feeling really
myself.
good about this list.
I'm
Yeah.
fulfilled with it.
I
I,
honestly
feel like
feel
D
very good.
tier is a bit bloated, but that's generally just because there's a lot of mid stuff.
Also because they split everything into 2 compartments when they didn't
Yeah.
need to,
Yeah.
but whatever.
But
I
I think
would-
this is a list I can be happy with.
I would
gonna
just
all-
say
are we
look in
gonna
the
all
comments
say-
after this was uploaded.
I'm not.
I don't
going to.
care.
I'm not
Yeah.
even reading the
People,
forum.
if you whine and complain about it, like, just shut up. Look,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you can't accept the truth.
All I ask
So
real quick-
disclaimer to anyone who makes it this far: the list is unordered, so cope and seethe. We are not saying
They're
X mode is better
lightly
than
ordered.
that mode.
Clearly, map crash is only bested by stock classic.
Yes,
Fuck you.
clearly.
True.
They're only technically tiered in some cases.
Fort
And,
Wars
and
is
that's
better
only
than
with
VFH.
specific about ordering. But other than that, yeah, it's mostly unordered. But I'm happy with this. I think everything is mostly in its rightful tier.
I think so.
Yeah.
This is it.
Everything
definitive
in its
tier
right
list.
place.
People
Talk
will
about it,
refer
you know.
to this for ages to come.
Truly.
Just disregarded the rule with the moving
I-
of left to right and shit like that. We
Yeah,
don't
that's
need
whatever. We're tired,
I
boss.
fought strongly for the game modes I believe in, and I'm happy with where they're all placed.
And I'm glad
I
for
did
everybody who
too.
did fight. Thank you. This has been pretty good, I feel like. I'm happy with this.
SCF.
I fought for that, and I will not have any slander.
Forge, I would have
Well,
vetoed
you won't hear
it
any from
anyways
Jolly,
if
that's
it
for
was
sure.
anywhere other than Hess.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay. It's okay. I will accept
man, Jude,
everything
my
as given.
man.
Ironic SCF in S.
I will accept
Because
everything
Yes,
as
it
given.
should be. Hey, listen,
Except
man.
for substitute.
This is 4.0 SCF, not the other one where we had gas balls on Scout.
Fucking
Oh,
gas
balls
balls,
were
man.
big. I'm not arguing.
Podcast episode on game mode histories and old versions.
Maybe that might be fun. That'd be
There's,
real fun to
there's
have
so
screw
much,
on, maybe.
like history.
But with that, I think we should about
Regardless,
wrap up.
You should ask Screw about King of the Pools and other old events. That's another
Oh,
King of the Pool.
but yeah, to wrap up, I would like to thank you for joining me and Sui on this very special occasion to commemorate our 10th episode. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing interest in the podcast, and thank you for being part of a community that makes this a project worth doing.
This was fun. I'm glad I decided to join.
It was fun.
Yeah, I'm
I
grateful
agree.
to be invited back. You know.
I'm sure we'll have you all on again soon, eventually. Never for a podcast. This is never for a tier list. Never for a
cast
tier
over,
list.
go home.
Oh my
Never
I
goodness.
for
think
a
that's,
tier list.
that's the second time you've got podcast and tier list mixed up. It's incredible.
We're never bringing another tier list out again. This is the last one, but I enjoyed it for what it was worth.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone quote that, please.
I don't want you on the podcast ever again. Don't quote that.
get out.
Leave.
May your woes be many.
Anyway, thank you all so much for
your days
listening
few.
for 10 episodes now, and we hope to see you in more to come.
11, 12,
24,
13, 8,
At
60,
least 7.
12,
more than 2.
9,
23.
Cat Scream MP3,
The
Alright, so-
voices.
the
Yeah,
voices.
we could do the server
Please stop
moderator
holding
tier
my
list
family
in episode
hostage.
100, right?
Oh, Gabriel.
Okay, does anyone else have any closing statements before me and Jolly sign this off?
No.
Banana.
Thank you
Thanks
for being able to
having us
join
on
here.
again. And yeah, thanks for doing it. Like you say, it's nice to be part of a community thing. I still can't believe we're playing TF2 in the year 2024.
True.
And we spent 3 hours talking about one server when there's thousands more out there, you know?
But yeah, I also agree. Obviously, I made a joke statement there, but thanks for having me. Thanks for Redsun for still existing, because as much as I kind of fall in and out of favor of TF2 sometimes, if I boot up TF2, it literally is exclusively just to play on Redsun at this point because I still enjoy
Yeah.
it. So
That's my case.
The only time where you can actually have fun instead of like having those competitive like games.
True. Well, thank you again to Forged, Sir, the old buddy, and June for coming along with us on this trip. We hope to see you again someday in the future for episodes with you all. And we hope to do many more episodes from here. We got the 10, we can get the 100. Easy, light work. But
Easy.
we'll get there when
I'll
we
see
get
you
there.
then, I suppose.
You know? Thank you again,
hoping.
Redsun. I guess we'll close this out now. We are quite exhausted But thank you again for
Yes.
listening in.
So
And
tired.
so ends season
Bye-bye.
1 of the podcast. Ooh.
Season
Good
1.
season it.
Ooh,
Good season it.
seasons.
Ooh.
Ooh.